dear Chief Representative of HUAWEI Deutschland, David Wang, dear Mayor of the State Capital Düsseldorf, Thomas Geisel, dear representatives of the shareholders of DigiHub Düsseldorf Rheinland, dear audience here on site and in front of the screens. A warm welcome on behalf of HUAWEI Deutschland, the State Capital Düsseldorf, the China Competence Center, Düsseldorf Tourismus, and the Digital Innovation Hub Düsseldorf Rheinland to our big final day of the very first European 5G AR Hackathon. Our digital hub is a regional innovation center for matchmaking between digital market players and the acceleration of new digital products and startups. The city of Düsseldorf founded the DigiHub together with the Chamber of Commerce Düsseldorf, WFMG Mönchengladbach, and Rheinkreis Neuss in 2016. HUAWEI joined the DigiHub family as our first partner from the very beginning, and since then we maintain a collaborative and fruitful partnership. What we started together in March with a white sheet of paper comes today to a great final of an extremely exciting innovation project. In April, we invited startups and developers from all over Europe to participate in our joint hackathon to develop a 5G AR mobile app based on the new HUAWEI mobile services platform. The aim of the hackathon is the prototype development and final presentation of a new type of mobile app based on 5G and AR technology for tourists in Düsseldorf. The given theme for the tourism app is Spectacular Düsseldorf. The mobile app is intended to present visitors to Düsseldorf with examples of the long history of the city, music, art, and architecture in an innovative and entertaining way. My name is Peter Hornik. I am the Managing Director of the Digital Innovation Hub Düsseldorf Rheinland, together with my colleague Dr. Clemens Geiser, who is unfortunately on sick leave this week and wishes you all a successful afternoon. And together with my colleague Jana Bodenstedt, we will be your hosts this afternoon. Jana, who are you and why are we here today in this magnificent and breathtaking location?
Hello everybody, I'm Jana Bodenstedt, not the youngest but the latest member of the DigiHub team. I just joined in May and this hackathon project is my first project in my new role as the Senior Strategy and Operations Manager at DigiHub. As you see, I'm probably also the most nervous person tonight because that's my first time with DigiHub on stage. But this will be better soon, I guess. So, coming back to our project, when I joined the DigiHub team, Clemens asked me, Jana, are you interested in joining the project? And to be honest, I didn't have to think long. As a computer scientist and as an experienced traveler, I was already immediately excited about this fantastic project of showing new technologies and touristic content in one big hackathon. And I'm really, really happy that it seems to be not only me, but a broad audience here on our stage, around the stage and online on the screens. Yeah, coming to our location, we have chosen the ISS Dome as our home tonight because I think the journey we went with our teams was a little bit sportive as well. We started end of July with 16 teams. Today we are proudly here with 10 teams, but the journey until here was very exciting. The teams are a little bit smaller than on the ice hockey ground, so we have only 1 to 5 players because it was the team's decision in which size they will start this hackathon. And we have different roles, the engineers, the developers, designers, etc. Our teams, compared to the Düsseldorfer EG, who is usually on this ground, I think have a little bit of a nicer and warmer working environment. Our teams are here from North Rhine-Westphalia, from Austria, from Spain, and from Croatia even, and Sweden, not to forget. So therefore, it's usually a little bit nicer during summer than on ice. And I think they did a similar exciting and tough journey, like a big training towards a European championship. And I think we have a European championship with this international team tonight. And yeah, I think before we talk too long about this, let me quickly explain a little bit more about the aim of our competition tonight. So I think it's also very, very exciting to know that today the 10 teams who are here tonight are fighting for a prize money of 30,000 euros. So we hope that at least one of the apps who will obviously win this prize money it will be developed further and can be used as a regular tourism app in the future for all our national and international tourists here in Düsseldorf. But before we look in the future, Peter, let's look a little bit more about the project and its significance.
Yes, before we start with our competition pitches, I would now like to give the floor to our today's special guests. Let's begin with today's hosts, David Wang, the Chief Representative of HUAWEI Deutschland. David Wang received his master's degree in enterprise management and joined HUAWEI in 1998. He has worked in China, Singapore, Philippines, Malaysia, and Australia before he was appointed as CEO of HUAWEI United Arab Emirates. Finally, in April of 2018, David was transferred to HUAWEI Germany as Chief Representative. Please welcome on stage Mr. David Wang. Warm welcome, Mr. Wang.
Thank you.
Please to the right.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Now let's jump to our second special guest, the mayor of the state capital Düsseldorf, Thomas Geisel. Mayor Thomas Geisel has a degree in law, and after owning different leading positions in the private sector, he became the mayor of state capital Düsseldorf in autumn 2014. Shortly after his inauguration, his first business travel led him to Shenzhen in China to visit the HUAWEI headquarters. Welcome on stage, Thomas Geisel, who we all recognize as the trailblazer of the local startup and innovation ecosystem. Warm welcome, Mr. Geisel. Let's start with our first question. Dear Mr. Wang, why did HUAWEI decide to organize this hackathon with the DigiHub?
Well, now we are at a changing time. We are moving from industrial society to a very exciting digital societies. And a lot of the new technology has stepped into our life. And now it's just the beginning of the very beginning. There's still a long journey yet to go. So I'm very happy to be part of it and to support this program to give the chance to the younger generations to create a better life for all of us.
Yes, and pretty sure we will see a lot of amazing presentations today.
I'm looking forward.
Dear Mayor Geisel, today we have the big final day of the first European 5G AR Hackathon of HUAWEI here in Düsseldorf. Why do you think that this event can only take place in this beautiful city?
Well, I guess, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to this extremely exciting event. Well, when you ask me why Düsseldorf is the ideal location, I guess Düsseldorf is a city that always tends to be at the forefront of modern, innovative communication and information technologies. And when it comes to 5G, I guess we're taking a pioneering role. We're about to roll out a 5G network here in the city of Düsseldorf together with partners such as HUAWEI. Düsseldorf hosts basically a cluster of communication and information industries. All the major telecommunication suppliers and network operators are located in the city of Düsseldorf. And I just may remind you that, for example, when it comes to applications of 5G technology in transportation, we were the test ground of a pioneering project in autonomous driving here in Düsseldorf. So where else would such a hackathon take place if not in Düsseldorf?
That's absolutely true. Jana.
Dear Mr. Wang, how did it come that HUAWEI moved its Western European headquarters and established its German headquarters too in Düsseldorf several years ago?
Well, it's quite obvious that Düsseldorf is one of the most powerful in terms of economy and also in terms of talent pool, creative environments. So we are quite enjoyed the business environment here, and we receive great support from local government. And the government's team always very supportive to HUAWEI's development. And my colleagues from all over the world and also their families love Düsseldorf and North Rhine-Westphalia very much. So we enjoy it very much, and we did a great job during past years, and we hope we can do better. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, next question goes to Maya Geisel again. I think we are very curious about the pitches. What are you in particular looking forward to in the following pitches today?
Well, I guess it's, of course, particularly in these days, a challenge, but also a very welcome thing that we developed this app, you know, this augmented reality 5G app on the touristic highlights of Düsseldorf. I mean, in Corona times, clearly tourism went through very difficult times. I mean, we have a lot of, we have the trade show, the Messe Düsseldorf. We have a lot of, you know, Düsseldorf takes pride in being a city of culture, of arts, of sports, and clearly a very attractive touristic destination. In the last month, due to the pandemic, I mean, we could not sort of develop these sites, and I think it is extremely important to come back. I mean, to come back as a touristic destination, to have the business picking up momentum again. And clearly, this app that is being developed in this hackathon is very, very helpful. It shows not only that Düsseldorf is an attractive, spectacular touristic destination, but it also shows that we're promoting tourism in the most innovative, in the most, how should I say, imaginative way that one could think of. And therefore, I'm very delighted to see that so many teams participated in this hackathon, and I'm really very eager to find out, you know, what has been the result and who's finally going to win the final.
That's totally true, and it's amazing that we will see 10 different teams today with 10 different solutions. And I think it's now time to dive in deeper a little bit and to start with our today's keynote. And thank you very much, Mayor Thomas Geisel.
You're welcome, David. Thank you very much for being here. I'm very curious to listen to your keynote speech.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
With a huge applause, yes, Mayor Thomas Geisel. We will now continue our program with the keynote of Mr. Wang, providing a new platform to the European app ecosystem. Mr. Wang, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I want to take this opportunity to give a quick update about this, the technology we are working on. Because the time limited, I don't only cover two topics. One is 5G, one is a new ecosystem. So first of all, 5G came much faster than what expected. If we look back a little bit, when we talk about 3G, it takes 9 years to reach 500 million subscribers. When we talk about 4G, it took 6 years to get 500 million subscribers, but for 5G, it could be the 3 years. Within 3 years, there will be 500 million subscribers on 5G. If you look at the bottom, the readiness of the device, from the network equipment ready to devices ready, it took 3 years in both 3G and 4G. But in 5G, the devices was ready 1 year after the network. Look at the entire world. Now, according to GSA statistics in July this year, there are 92 commercial 5G networks in 38 countries already. And talking about devices, there are more than 400 5G devices on the market. According to these statistics of the last month, August 2020, there are 180 smartphones and also 100 CPEs, different types of CPEs. And also, we will forecast the shipment of the 5G devices, so we keep on growing. We'll touch the 26% of the 5G phone will be occupy the shipment by 2023. And also, the price of the 5G phone is dropping up to these $200. So have a look at what is happening in China. China has established 500,000 5G base stations right now. By end of this year, the number of the 5G base stations in China would touch 800,000 5G base stations. At the moment, they have the 100 million 5G subscribers, and still increase rapidly, 10 million per month. And driven by these 5G infrastructure and devices, there are various applications are happening. Roughly, we would say there are more than 400 applications in different types of scenarios: smart cities, smart mines, smart port. Today, I just pick a few of them to share with you how 5G changed the traditional model. The first is about live broadcasts. So on the top part, you can see in the traditional way, you need a truck worth of 80 million RMB. I'm talking about RMB here. With a 4 cameramen, with a 15 on-the-field staff to do a live broadcasting. But now with a 5G pack, just a 10K camera, 10K RMB's camera, and 1 to 5 people, you can do a live broadcast immediately. You don't need a heavy truck anymore. You don't need to rent the satellite anymore. And this is another scenario on this mining industry. Mining industry always means a very tough working environment. Now with the 5G support, people could sit 100 kilometers away in the proper office with air cons to control the trucks and diggers on the ground. That improved its efficiency significantly and reduced the cost and reduced the danger to the people on the spot. It doesn't need the people on the spot anymore. It's not only for the mining field on the ground, but also under the ground. It also works. All these are the real cases. And this is the largest port in the world in terms of the cargo throughput, the Ningbo smart port. You can see these huge cranes, normally operated by 3 persons per crane, but now use the 5G support. You doesn't need people on the spot. And you can sit in the office like the picture on the right bottom, that you can operate the crane automatically. The efficiency has been increased significantly. They can save more than 500,000 RMB per crane. So 5G is working to improve the efficiency. And the system is aircraft manufacturer in China. They call it Commercial Aircraft Corporation. They use 5G and 8K to do the quality control. In the traditional way, they're relying on these specialists to control the surface of this, the quality of the surface of the aircraft. And then now they use the 8K and 5G and supported by AI from background. They significantly improve the efficiency and reduce the cost by 10 times. And the working through time reduced significantly. So these are what is happening with 5G are working in the real cases. And the next part I want to share with you our new ecosystem we just announced last week, which is a Harmony OS and a HUAWEI mobile service package. From the right side, you can see our strategy on this hardware ecosystem. In the future, every piece of smartphone will be the data portal for all the smart devices. There are 8 and multi more devices behind your smartphone, let's say smartwatch, or goggles, and a pad, a computer, even your smart car. All the electronics in the future would be linked by one platform. Your phone can talk to every electronics by one platform. So that will create another scenario, can synchronize all these smart devices on one platform. And on the right side is about app system. Huawei provide another option beside iOS and Android to provide these different type of applications to the subscribers. So Huawei has a large shipment of the smart devices. This is the data from the second quarter this year. So in terms of smartphone, wrist wearables, smart watches, we ranked pretty high market share, or number 1 or number 2. And for the rest, we also grow pretty fast. So these are the 2 examples how Huawei's Harmony can make a difference. When you're jogging or riding bike, you can synchronize your smartphone and your smartwatch as a navigator. You can put it easily on top of your bike. You don't need to take out your phone to see this navigator anymore because they are running on the same platform. Just like this one, you have a different type of devices, but you can easily synchronize one same applications on different type of smart devices, from your phone to your pad to your smart TV to your smart cars. So one app for all the devices. So this is a beautiful part of the Harmony. And then now we have 1.8 million developers on top of it, 96,000 apps with HMS, and 200 billion downloads already. And the most beautiful thing is Open Harmony is a purely open source platform, and also it's an open governance system. So it belongs to this community, and it will be managed by community. It will not be controlled by one single company. Now these 2 links shows all this source code is available. You are welcome to come to visit and download, try our new systems. So it's not just available in China, but it's available entire the world. We are working with 170 countries and more communities to develop this new ecosystem. This is the 3rd option beside Enjoy and Else. And it's targeting multi-smart devices. It's worth a try. So thank you very much. That is what I share with everybody. Stars shine through even the darkest night, and the future is in your hands. I'm looking forward to your brilliant presentation later on. Thank you.
Exciting times are ahead, Mr. Wang, I think, and I'm pretty sure Huawei will also be a trailblazer for 5G in the whole world. So thank you very much, Mr. David Wang.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, just put it on here.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, I think that was a great start, and it seems to be showtime now, Jana. Shall we start with the pitches now?
Yes, for sure. I'm excited, and I can feel the tension rising. But who knows me knows I have to say something first. So let me briefly explain how this procedure will work today. So we have 10 teams here. 10 teams. I think that's an applause. 10 teams fighting tonight for our prize money. The first winner gets 15,000 euro, the second 10, and the third 5,000 euros. To win this, they first have to work a little, of course. So each hackathon team will present their app prototype to us here in the ISS Dome and online on the laptops in just 7 minutes. As we said, it's sportive today. In this 7 minutes, we will see 3 minutes of a video sequence, which the teams created over the last 2 days here in Düsseldorf. Equipped with a HUAWEI P40 Pro, our Düsseldorf card, and the good 5G network coverage, the teams walked around, traveled around, took pictures, and created their movies, tested their apps, and we will see the results later in these 3-minute videos. I am really excited which touristic highlights they have chosen for us today. In the remaining 4 minutes of the pitch, they will share with us a little bit of background information, because we also, of course, want to understand the vision of this app and what were the thoughts of the team when they started their concept. We will receive some background information. This could be information about the team, their way of working, etc. Of course, we also want to understand a little bit more about the technology behind. We want to know which HMS kits were used, which APIs were called, all this kind of technical stuff, which I hopefully understand a little. And then finally, we will also get an outlook, because we are also curious how this app can be developed further and how it can be used in the future as an official touristic app in Düsseldorf. After every pitch, we will have our competent jury, which we have here in the front. A warm welcome to you. They will ask some questions, and the teams have the chance to answer, to give the last clarifications for the voting of the jury. After the after the first 5 pitches, we will give ourselves a small break to breathe and to make sure that we can share with you another very innovative concept of tourism in Düsseldorf. And then, before we close the competition with the last 5 pitches, we will have the big break with the jury break to decide who earns the prize money most. And in the meantime, because we on stage here on the ISS Dome and online also want to do something nice, we will listen to a nice concert of an upcoming artist from our town here in Düsseldorf. And finally, then it will become really exciting. The jury will come back and will announce to us the 3 winners of our 2 days hackathon final, and will hand over the virtual checks of 15, 10 and 5,000 euros. Dear audience, now I would like to introduce to you our top-class jury for the selection of the winning teams. On my left, I see Andreas Zimmer, Head of Ecosystem and Software Strategy from HUAWEI. Next to him, Carsten Senz, Head of Corporate Communications, also from HUAWEI. Then we have Ole Friedrich, the Managing Director of Düsseldorf Tourismus. My dear colleague Uljana Engel, our Accelerator Program Manager from the DigiHub. And finally, Dr. Heike König, who has also unfortunately fallen sick today. And best wishes to her, and a warm welcome to Jan Paul Lahmann, who stepped in for for Tourismus NRW, of course. Thank you very much. So, dear jury, I talked a lot now. Please introduce yourself briefly in 1 or 2 sentences so that we all know what are you interested in tonight and who you are.
Jana, thank you very much for your... Oh, sorry.
No,
I was a little bit too fast.
Should I say a few words?
Start in the same order. Thank
okay. Thank you, first of all, for setting up this great event. I'm super excited. So, who am I? I mean, you already introduced me, so I'm Andreas. And I work very closely with the developer community in Europe, actually, because that's my job. So, I mean, this event I've been looking forward to since you announced it some months ago. So I really look forward to seeing what all the teams have come up with, and some great innovation around AR and 5G.
Thank you.
No. So, hi, yes. I'm Carsten, and I'm a head of corporate communication of HUAWEI in Germany. I've been working for HUAWEI for 10 years, very exciting times. And besides public relations, one of my tasks is also our cooperation with startup communities and young people, universities in Germany. So that's in fact one of the favorite part of my work that I have. And I'm very excited to be here tonight and to see some very new solutions with all these great digital technologies all together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now it works. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ole, and I'm the Managing Director of Düsseldorf Tourism. I'm really happy to be here this afternoon to join this event, and I'm highly interested in get new information, get new inspiration how the digital work can bring experience together in the analog and the normal work together with 5G and augmented reality. So it is really, really important for us working together with new technologies to make it easier, more beneficial for our customers to get experience about the city during the entire customer journey. So I'm highly interested what's happening today.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Juliana Engel, and I'm responsible for the accelerator program called Ignition here in Düsseldorf. And I'm super excited to see all the pitches today. And to all the teams behind me, please do me a favor and have fun on stage. Inspire us. Thanks.
Good point.
My name is Paul, and I'm representing the project Urbanana, which is looking for creative tourism all around Northern Westphalia, so this is a perfect match, I think. And we already did some cooperations with projects in AR, so I'm pretty excited about what's next here.
Thank you very much for all your nice introduction. I think we are extremely proud to have such a top-class jury tonight. We also had another member, Florian Rinke, who is also not available due to personal reasons. So I think, yeah, we really like the interest in our project, and I'm sure we will show you some nice and interesting pictures later. So, and now I wish us all, dear audience, on-site, and in front of the screens, an entertaining and innovative afternoon and evening.
Now it's time. Jana, thanks for your detailed overview. Also from my side, a warm welcome to our top-notch jury. And now it's crunch time, and it's time to start with the presentations. Our first team is a mixed team which met 2 years ago at a hackathon and participates in hackathons now regularly. They have a broad experience with AI and object recognition, and today's product is all around a barrier-free Düsseldorf experience. Welcome on stage arISTA, Lenka, Sebastian and René. The stage is yours.
Hello, we are the team arISTA. We are very glad to be here. And where's our presentation? Okay, so now we start. Simon, Paul, and Tony, they wanted to go to Düsseldorf. They want to make a trip to Düsseldorf. They want to see some art and culture and have a nice time at all. But there are some problems, because Simon is in a wheelchair, Paul is blind, and Tony is a dog. He is a dog for blind and disabled people, to be exact. So the plan is there. They want to go to Düsseldorf to see some art and culture, and they want to have some beer in the old town. But stop. The beer is only for Simon and for Paul. Tony, he drinks water, because one of them has to be reasonable. So now there are a lot of questions. How to get there? How to get to the old town? How to get to these locations? Because which locations are barrier-free? How to get there by the train, by the subway? Because they spend a lot of time in the internet. They look at the websites to see which locations are barrier-free, and in the internet they find a chaotic Excel sheet with barrier-free transport stops. So what is the reason for this big problem? The reason is Düsseldorf for everyone. Our app, arISTA, solved these problems, because with our app the people can go to the city, they can make trips without disabilities.
Okay, and this is our solution and app for tourism, for disabled people. And we created a system not just for one disability, but for a lot of disability. The first one is for blind people, for deaf people, for people with mental disabilities, and one for disabilities in movement. So now first the part with people with visual impairment. We have a system for navigation with maps in high contrast and other colors so that people can see it better. The other part of the app will be a camera system, AR system, where the colors of objects will be in high contrast. And one part that is planned is curated narrations of picture descriptions. So the second part for the deaf people, we plan and we'll have a demo where the sound and the ambient noises of surroundings or of buildings like the Tonhalle will be visually visualized. And another part will be like an audio guide for hearing people. We're planning a part where deaf people can have something similar like an audio guide. So, and now the part for mentally disabled people. We plan a system where arts and culture in museums will be a special part in the app where the description of this arts will be in very simple and in easy language so that everyone can understand it. The same for outside buildings and other things. So, and now for the people with disabilities, we plan a navigation system where they can see where to go. And the special part is obstacles and lifts, elevators, and ramps will be visualized for them so that they can see where to go. It's often very complicated to find a way when you can't walk. And one special part will be in museums and for architecture, when there are descriptions on pictures. Not everyone can see it because they are too high. And so we plan a system where it will come down to your level that you can read it. So, and these are the technical specifications. I'm a bit nervous now. We use a system of, so we have to build picture descriptions in sign language and in written words and in videos, and explanations in very simple language in more than one step. And for that we're using geolocation and object detection so that the right information will be placed.
So our vision is Düsseldorf for everyone. We want that everyone can go to a city without any barriers. Because we believe that with our app, even more people will come to Düsseldorf if they are disabled or not. And we believe as well that even the citizens of Düsseldorf will make more trips in their own city. Because please notice, 40% of people, they need accessibility, and for the rest of the population is just fine. So, why we? I'm Lenka, I'm online journalist. I'm publisher of MidKids. It's a digital guide for berry-free family time. And my son Janis is disabled. René is our techie and father of 2 kids. And he knows the needs and the problems of accessibility as a stroller driver.
And I'm Sebastian, I'm a graphic designer. And I have a lot of friends with disabilities. And when you go with them to a city with a wheelchair, it's not that easy always.
So, what's the best on our idea? Our idea is scalable. It's scalable for families. It's scalable for other regions or other cities. We think that accessibility is needed for everyone, and we need help and for our app, we can do it. We can do not it alone. We need help, and we think our app has to be more developed. So please help us to work on our app.
Ist noch nicht fertig.
Der Timer läuft nicht. Ja, der läuft nicht.
Zwei Minuten.
Meine läuft nicht.
Kannst du mal ein Stück schneller gehen?
Ich hab Angst, dass ich aus dem Bild laufe.
Nee, ich halte dich. Genau, ich halte deinen Arm.
Ja, das ist gut. So, thank you for watching our pitch and our video, and we are looking forward for your questions.
Huge applause for Team arISTA, Lenka, Sebastian, and René. Not perfect timing,
No.
but
I'm sorry, but the timer
Didn't work.
stopped all the time,
Okay.
so we didn't see
no problem.
what time.
Dear jury, please ask your questions. We have 3 minutes now for questions.
Okay. Hi. Thanks a lot for that. I think you presented a hugely powerful idea, because I think the target group that you're aiming at is often forgotten in technological development as well, and you're doing a great job at actually using technology to solve these kind of problems. That being said, it's relatively complex what you're attempting to do. So I'm wondering, in terms of the project, how far are you? Like, what will it take to have a kind of like a commercial solution that you can launch to your users?
Okay. We think we need nearly 6 months for the first part, and then a lot of work, especially from museums and culture institutions, because we need the text, the information, and it has to be translated in different languages. And that's a quite difficult task, and maybe will be a little bit more time.
Okay, six months.
6 months for the first step. Depends on how fast we can get text.
Okay, cool, thanks. But fantastic idea.
I know your problem, because I worked since 2 years on this digital guide for Berry-free family time. So I have a lot of experience with this, with Berry-free, and I have a son. He's 15 years old, and he's disabled as well. So I live in this world of disability here.
And you have all skills on board to develop the app for the first launch?
We maybe not all, because we can't speak sign language, and we need more team members that are able to translate in these languages, produce the videos that are needed, and we need people with the special skill to translate in this easy and simple languages. It's very difficult to get there.
My question is also a conceptual one. You choose to target every group of disabled people. Was there a moment where you thought, okay, let's skip like deaf people, or let's focus that to get it more realistic to realize it?
Yes, as I said, because I work since 2 years, MidKids it's a digital guide. It's not an app, but it's the same system. Because for a wheelchair driver, you have a wheel map, and but a lot of people they have several disabilities, so it makes sense to make it for all these people. So that is the idea, to make it for all.
Thank you.
Does it also help blind people to navigate through the city? That's my first question. Yeah. And the second question, do you think it could also be a kind of an interesting app for children?
Yeah, we imagined a system where the descriptions for the navigation will be also not the typical Google Maps system, because it's not so accurate. Always should be a more curated kind of navigation. Also, that is a lot of work to do. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is up. I think everybody here at ISS Dome and in front of the screens has felt your passion, of course. That was an amazing start, impressive product. Ladies and gentlemen, Lenka, Sebastian and René from arISTA. Let's move on to the next presentation. Our second team will be Robin and Sebastian from renowned university RWTH in Aachen, and they are also member of our appreciated colleagues from DigiHub Aachen. Their app, Cityscaper, is the first AR app addressing existing issue in urban development. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on stage, Robin and Sebastian.
Yeah, hello everybody. We are really happy to present you our latest app, TimeShift, tonight. We are Cityscaper, normally developing for urban planners an augmented reality application where we overlay the reality with their plans on site. This is Sebastian. He has 10 plus years of experience in software development. I worked 3 years for sales in a small company in southern Germany. And this is our third team member. She's called Olivia. She might look like that, or even like that, and she is the average tourist in Düsseldorf spending 1.5 days in town. And this is 100 years of dance history of the Tonhalle in Düsseldorf, and when you look now how much Olivia sees of this history, it looks like that. Oh, sorry, we have to zoom in. So it's barely anything, and we want to change that. We want to make the same picture look like that. So Olivia experiencing the full story of the history of Düsseldorf. You'll see in our video how that works.
Have you ever struggled to imagine what a historic site used to look like? TimeShift sends you back in time, on-site, in real time, augmenting your reality. The history of each building is different. Transform your surroundings right in the place where its history was written. Get in-depth information via movies, text or audio pinned to the historic object. You can live history virtually or read a detailed historic guide. It's your choice with TimeShift. Reveal the building's interior. Get a sneak preview before deciding to get inside and locate the areas you're searching. No need to wait in line. Book your ticket in the app. Timeshift is more than a static immersion. Animated content enhances your virtual journey. Timeshift makes users interact in 4 dimensions. Collecting postcards not only in space, but also in time makes time traveling worthwhile. Which granny doesn't like to receive a handwritten mail? All interesting sites in Düsseldorf will soon be available. For tourists, it's simple and intuitive. Shift through time to explore the city's unique history. People find art boring because it's not interactive. What if you could arrange it for your next Instagram story? Who wouldn't like to high-five a sculpture? Timeshift, a journey through history.
Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll sum the video up with a short story of Olivia, the average tourist of Düsseldorf. So Olivia arrives in town, she orientates herself on the map in the app, and then she comes past an interesting site. And she might ask, yeah, what's the history behind the Tonhalle? And then she can see in 1900 it wasn't built. She zooms on in 1920 it was built. She can see the building process. And then 1940, World War II damage, and she might ask, yeah, what's this building for now today? Is it still a planetarium? And then she can use our X-ray feature to look inside and find out it's actually a concert hall, gets the location of the different rooms in the building to orientate herself, and even can book her ticket in the app. And after a concert experience, she comes outside and she can use our gamification features, searching for postcards, interacting with virtual objects, and even share experience in Düsseldorf with her family and friends on Instagram and Telegram. What's in it for Düsseldorf Tourismus? That's straightforward. You can tell your tourists the full history of your town, and that will make the people emotionally connected to Düsseldorf. Why? Because it'll make Düsseldorf unique. Your history here in the city is unique. It's your unique selling point you should show to your tourists from worldwide. And secondly, overlaying the reality with augmented reality content and buildings isn't available on the market yet, so you will have a unique, immersive attraction here in Düsseldorf.
Our main innovation is our Timeshift feature that allows us to overlay buildings with their historic counterparts. Also, we have created a new way to look inside the buildings for people to get a look behind the curtain. And also, we have created some new AR interactions. All this is possible due to HUAWEI. With 5G, we can do a content delivery network. And for this hackathon, we have specifically designed 8 different shaders to create a better immersive experience that run specifically on the P40 to utilize its whole performance. This allows us to render 5 different cameras at the same time to create this smooth transition and create a better immersion, all while also using the HUAWEI HMS AR engine to do the AR experience. And also from the HUAWEI toolkit, we have used hand tracking to create an interaction between AR content and the real person.
The long-term story short, we presented now our minimal viral product, which is already available. We want to find our first customer until November this year. We want to develop the product until December, for example, including the 5G content delivery network. Furthermore, the content creation for a city like Düsseldorf will take 3 months, and we want to do some customer discovery with a questionnaire. We brought you a little takeout from our filmmaking. We had a lot of fun doing the video. Thanks to DigiHub Düsseldorf. Thanks to HUAWEI for making this event here possible. It was a great honor to be here. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Team Cityscaper, that was quite impressive. I'm very sure a lot of people flying through the decades had maybe goosebumps seeing the destroyed Tonhalle, of course. And I'm pretty sure our jury will have a lot of questions now and only 3 minutes left. Who wants to start?
Thank you very much for the presentation. First question is, where will you get all the material to create the visuals from the past? For example, how the Tonhalle has been built a couple of years ago, for example.
Yeah, so for this we want to collaborate with the different institutions that we want to present in the app, and then we will create the content for this place there. There's a lot of old historic imaging also in the archives of Düsseldorf, and from there we can take a lot to create this historic experience.
Thank you.
That was visually very impressive, but I wonder how you put this in a small phone, and I wonder if you focus on small phones or on tablets or on both, and how you get this on the street.
So for this experience, as we've said, we've used the HUAWEI P40, which allowed us to do this impressive visuals. I think for older phones we would need to turn it down a little bit, but I think with the AR tracking technology coming further, it should run on most hardware from the last 4 or 5 years.
But I think if you take it with a tablet, it's much more impressive if you're standing in front of the Tonhalle as on the small device. So you are also working on translating it for tablet.
There's basically no translation, so it's not really native yet for any device, but it's not that much effort to do it native, and surely we want to support as many devices as possible.
So yeah, I mean, you definitely went all in on AR. How was your experience developing that? Did you how do you see for the future to kind of go even more into that space?
I think the field is really coming forward quite fast, and working with the HUAWEI kit was a big step from other kits we've used before, because it's just very stable to do this tracking, and it was a good experience to create something in this scene, and with our way of blending the reality with other places, not only in the closed space, but also doing it for the building a couple of meters away. I think there's a lot of potential, and that's what we want to utilize, and that's what we're doing.
Very impressive, and happy to hear, of course.
Okay, time is up. Thank you so much, Robin and Sebastian. A huge applause for Team Cityscaper.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we had 2 amazing presentations for the beginning, and so we are really looking forward to our 3rd presentation, and this will be our one-man team, Tom. In our own accelerator program, we totally believe in the power of teams, but we make exception for exceptional talents. Tom won several international hackathons. In 2017, he won the startup competition of SXSW Hackathon in Austin, Texas, and was part of the startup program of Techstars with his Marble app, which was recently enhanced as a new Corona app called Coro Stories Well. Lastly, he won the 3rd place at the Facebook AR Hackathon in Los Angeles. Absolutely looking forward to his presentation. A warm welcome for Tom with Marble.
So, hello there. Yeah, I'm Tom. Now I feel flattered. It's a true honor to be on this stage. And this is Sally. Sally is from the United States, and she happens to visit Düsseldorf for the very first time. She's not a typical tourist, though. She might be on a business trip or visiting friends. But she's still very curious to learn more about the city. But do you think she would actively look for an app for just that purpose? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, Düsseldorf has a lot of cool stuff to offer, and I was actually very impressed by that. But it's not a typical tourist hotspot like this or this. So how do we actually reach these random visitors? And I think The best way to reach them is that the app is already on their phone, that's sure. And how do we do that? By integrating it into her everyday life. And how can we do that? Well, the best way to do that is that it is tapping into a human behavior. And one of the strongest human behaviors that mankind had since it exists is saying, I was here. So we built a platform, and this is the digital version of it. So we built a platform that allows you to explore architectural highlights as well as culture and music, but at the same time, turn this into a true social experience. And this is how it works. This is a marble. A marble is a visual marker in space. You can drop it at any location. It works like an information capsule. And if you tap on it, it reveals its content. It could be photos, text, or even YouTube videos. So any kind of content you can think of. And at some locations, like the Film Museum, we even integrated these great Matterport interactive walkthroughs that you already have on the homepage, and that's a pretty cool way. But the best thing about this app here is it is so easy to create the content. You don't need a developer or a marketing agency. You can just do it yourself. If you want to place a YouTube video at Kling Klang Studio, you just do it, and bam, it's there. Or a Spotify content. And because it was so simple to do that, I did not just cover one of these points of interest we got, I did them all. And I did it from my home office because we also have this web-based back end. And some of these marbles also auto-create themselves just by tapping into external services like Wikipedia in this case here. So, because it is so easy to make the content, why not let the users do it themselves? Now back to Sally. Imagine she's at the Tonhalle, and she's having a blast, just as I do now, and she wants to keep that special moment in time. So what she does is she turns around, then she's on that bridge, and takes the camera feature of the app just to take a selfie, like I do here, and bam, I'm done. And this video stays here forever. Every time I visit Düsseldorf again, I will meet that again. And this means that over time, this turns into a virtual scrapbook of your life. So like a journey through a life. If I was here with my family, I love cycling, we love hiking, sledging, but we can even place pivotal moments of our lives here, like the first day at school, or this is actually the birthplace of my youngest daughter in Germany. So, and you don't have to walk around with your phone like this all the time, because we notify you if there is content nearby. So that's kind of a surprise when you come back. And on the long run, we plan to do this on AR glasses, so it's an always-on experience. And as you can see here, I always had a very good 5G connection here when I was on site. And 5G is actually very important for this types of app because we're creating a lot of user-generated high-bandwidth content, which allows the people to really embed it into their everyday lives. So how did I build it? For full disclosure, we already have an app like that in the app stores. And normally when I go to hackathons, I love to do something completely new from scratch. But then I tried out this app on the HUAWEI devices, and it crashed. And it crashed because it is using Unity, a popular game engine, and in combination with AR Core normally. And this is not supported out of the box. So I thought this would be an amazing opportunity for a hackathon project, and also a good case study for HUAWEI, how easy it actually is to port everything that is already existing to a new platform. And this is what I did. So I took their Unity framework that was there, fixed some bugs here, and I didn't stop here. I also created some new feature like this Matterport integration, and finally pushed this to the app gallery. It's not open there because it contains the content of the partners, so I didn't dare to do that, but that would be pretty straightforward to do. So the business model is simple. Marble is a world of locations, people, and their interests. So out of that comes a whole bunch of business opportunities, like you could place all these marbles at the shop fronts in the city, so your local businesses could do this yourself. So I would love to invite the guys from the marketing, from the city marketing here to try out this app. It's completely free. And to HUAWEI, we're already in close contact with carriers, but we are not in contact yet with a device manufacturer, and we'd love to do that and also explore the Asian markets. So I would love to invite you all to share, to shape this future together. Thanks a lot. Sheshe.
Thank you very much, Tom. The high quality of presentations and products continues, and it's now time to ask your questions. Who wants to start?
Yeah, hi. Really cool. It reminds me a little bit of Pokemon, right? Got to catch them all tourist destinations, I guess, in a space. I like the fact that you want to kind of merge this with user-generated content. But how do you see the challenge of the user-generated content being relevant and not flooding the user with information in that sense?
Yes, I kept that out because I was expecting that question in the panel. We do that by a concept we call layers. You can think of layers like radio stations or YouTube channels. So you can decide on what, like onion layer, you would place your content on. And there is a private layer for just you and your friends, for instance. And there's public layers like public transport or anything like that, or like food nearby, something like that. So that's how we do that.
Okay, understand. Thanks a lot.
We know a lot about Sally, but Tom, who are you?
I am a developer at heart. I actually built up the European market leader for e-learning in my earlier life, but I love to do startups. So after 12 years, I decided to go back to startupping, doing cool hackathons, as he mentioned, at South by. And that was actually the spark that got me to the States and do some cool stuff over there. And yeah, that's basically me, tech guy.
But you have a team.
Yes, we have a team, of course, but they're so busy at the moment with that 5G entertainment program run by Deutsche Telekom and RTL and that stuff, so I decided to come here as a lonesome warrior.
Thanks.
Just a little question. The marbles, can you change the designs, or shall they all be white?
No, actually, this one here was the Düsseldorf edition marble, if you will. So it looks like with your logo. The standard marble for what the user generated is this pinkish thing, because it has to contrast very well with the vicinity. And we also have a lot of custom marbles, like for artists and somebody like that. So that's possible. We could do anything in 3D, but we decided deliberately to keep that as simple as possible to make it scalable.
No more questions left? Okay. If you don't felt the passion right now, I think you don't have a heart for developers and startups. A huge applause for Tom and the Marble app. We now jump again to the University RWTH in Aachen, and our next startup wants to explore the cutting-edge technology 5G. They see the hackathon as a great opportunity to train their skills and test abilities. Welcome on stage Team Hoodist, Abdullah and Madhu. The stage is yours.
Hello everyone. I'm going to start a bit unorthodoxly. I love traveling, and so does our team. But you know one thing that's very frustrating when you're traveling or researching for traveling? is the amount of websites that you're Googling to figure out which places to visit, what stories you want to know about them, and then you determine whether you want to visit them or not. And after you've done this much Googling, you go to the actual place and you're still scrolling through your phone, still looking at the story and not at the actual building or whatever experience you want to see. So you actually miss out quite a lot. So I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, and neither is my team. We are not alone in this. So how do we reimagine tourism for this 21st century? To start, we asked, what does Düsseldorf have to offer for us to even reimagine? So let us take you on a journey on what we saw in Düsseldorf in the last couple of days and how we reimagined them in our tourism app.
Welcome to Düsseldorf. Every once in a while, a catalyst comes along that makes it possible to step into the future. We have that catalyst, that step into the future of tourism.
That was a very quick intro into our experience in Düsseldorf and what we see as reimagining tourism. And then I move on to introduce our app, Sense, basically nerding out with AR sensors. A typical tourist in Düsseldorf, we can imagine, fits into 3 broad categories. One is Ralph, a typical backpacker who has all the time in the world. Second is Andrea, who did not have sightseeing at all in her agenda, but then meeting shifted and she now has time in her hands. And Max, a student who is techno-savvy, and the usual definition of tourists do not fit. So how do we engage them all in the app?
We introduced Sense. Sense is a platform which introduces basically 4 senses, 5 if you count common sense. We start with namely, the senses are guided sense, underland sense, time sense, and insta sense. We start with guided sense. Guided sense is exactly like traditional tourism, but we deliver the experience through AR in 4 simple steps. You can select one of our predetermined or your customized tour. We guide you through the interface that you're familiar with, and when you arrive at the location, we immerse you into a story that we have curated at that location. Underland sense is an additional part, or is built on top of this. We can. This comes from a real experience where people want to see what they cannot see with their normal everyday walk through the city. What lies under the ground? What is behind these walls? With this sense, we introduce how to see those and experience those realities. Again, we deliver it in 3 simple steps. We have it on the list, we guide you through the place, and when you arrive at the place, we show you how that location looks like in virtual reality. Time sense, it's an addition on all of the previous senses. In this, we take you through time with what we call time portals. These are places where there are archived pictures. We enhance those pictures through AI, and when you are at the location, we show you how you can experience time in all its glory. For example, this is the Hauptbahnhof of Düsseldorf in 1985, and this you can experience it right at the location. The last one is to cash in on the modern generation. It's what we call InstaSense. It comes from the Instagram craze, where people are going to places to take pictures at the Instagram famous places, and we can guide you to exact location on that in actual space. So we guide you through map, and when you arrive at the location, we use the sensors on the phone to exactly put your phone in the same location, as well as adjust your camera settings with AI so you can take exactly the same shot that you have always admired. All of these senses are currently possible with the current, with our 2 months at the using HUAWEI services, and we can deliver on all of these. I'm really thankful to our team who delivered on the vision and not on a product, especially to Georgie, who kept us working on this idea for the last 2 months, even though there was a lot of challenges. And now I leave the floor to your questions. We see City as our main partner to develop this idea further with. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Abdullah and Madhu. Aachen is for many reasons a great place for new technologies and for, obviously, AR solutions as well. Dear jury, we are absolutely looking forward to your questions now.
Thank you very much for the presentation. One question, the guided sense. So you offered 100 of different tours I can choose when I'm walking through the city to get information about exciting places, right? So is this, in your part, is it for free so that everybody who has this app could join every tour at every time, or is it a business tool behind?
So the first part is, I would start with the part that should be available to everyone, and that comes from the city, where city wants to demonstrate their famous or most attractive locations. So they curate the guide, the story they want to tell about that place, and we offer this platform to them. But the second stage, where the business comes in, there could be guided tours, for example, doing a branded tour across Düsseldorf. So you could choose, I want to do a specific brand of clothes or luxury items, and you can if you choose this category, we would show you the list which we can guide you through the city using those from the list.
Okay.
Yeah, or even actually breweries. Düsseldorf has some of the oldest breweries, and they have quite a bit of story themselves to tell. So businesses like that, which have a history, can be partnering with us, and they already have the materials to supply with most of the time with their good archiving. So it can be used directly with this app.
Thank you.
Why so many sensors? Why don't you focus on only one? For example, the Instagram or social media sense, because this would be great for me if I go to a new city. This is what I'm actually doing. I'm searching on Instagram, where are the nice places to visit, and it would be helpful for me.
Exactly. That is the question we approached as a team, and we will be focusing on, for example, guided sense and Instagram InstaSense. But the idea was to show the potential of the platform here. We have the short time, but we want to show that there is a vision behind it, and put the right vision, it can drive us into the next step of tourism.
I would actually supplement that answer that after you take the picture for Instagram, you would still want to experience something, right? And you would want to visualize something. Social media is great for posting pictures and also for getting information, but there are some experiences you wish to hear and to visualize on your own. And the other senses that we explored, we presented them separate, but it's actually a coherent story, one within the other, however you want to experience them. So,
thank you.
So enough time for one last short question.
What do you think, how long time do you need until it's really finished and completed completely?
So we are really expert at the system level. We see some hurdles in the way, for example, implementing it in Huawei, especially with some of the feature set that we imagine to bring to the stage. But in reality, we could see it developed in full scale in under 1 year.
I totally adore the idea to fly through times. Thank you very much, Team Hoodist, Abdullah and Madhu.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now we jump in our fifth presentation. That means it will be the last presentation for now. Team NanoGiants believe in a world where technology helps everyone to grow. Their mission is to extended reality, AI or global networking to revolutionize the way we live in the future. Please welcome on stage Stefan from Team NanoGiants.
We believe in a world where technology helps everyone to grow. The way we contribute to this world is by empowering people and making our products exceptional. We take nano ideas and turn them into giant products. We are NanoGiants. When building a world for people, it's important to understand them. So let's have a deeper look. This is Greg. Greg is 25 years old and is a bold and adventurous guy. He studies fine arts and spends most of his time outdoors. He loves to travel and has been to all kinds of places around the world. But regardless of where he went, he always ended up in the tourism traps. While having a good time, he always felt that something is missing. So for the Gregs of the world, we present you locally. For people who want to experience an amazing time in Düsseldorf, Locally is a guide to all the city's favorite places only locals know. Unlike most other tourism apps, places are curated by locals. Locally is focused on showing the user immediately what makes this place special. Locally shows the real beauty of Düsseldorf without focusing too much on commonly known places. Content is created by locals and is reviewed by editors and the community. We want to ensure a high standard for entries. We focus on an easy-to-use interface which immediately shows what makes this place special. This includes immersing into the place using techniques like augmented reality and machine learning. We also show what's nearby, places like ATMs, e-bike stations, and many more to make a vacation carefree. So for your next trip to Düsseldorf, be like Greg. Make it an amazing experience. Locally is brought to you by these 4 NanoGiants. Philip worked on the back end, while Niels, Thomas, and myself worked on the Android app. The backend stores data and is responsible for storing data like images, 3D models, and various other data. It's hosted on Versal and therefore scalable and highly available, which makes it well suited for 5G applications. The Android app is written in Kotlin and uses a modern MVP approach. We use advanced techniques like coroutines, Coil for image loading, Dagger Hill for dependency injection, and various HUAWEI mobile services. In fact, we use quite a few of them. Immersive content like augmented reality and text-to-speech is implemented using the Scene Kit and the ML Kit. We use the Map Kit for location-based services and navigation. And the Site Kit provides us with a list of nearby locations. We are going to use even more of them in the future. We believe in empowering people. This is why we want to bring them closer together. We want to add the social platform where visitors and locals can interact with each other. Users can chat and meet up to experience Düsseldorf together. Defining what's a place worth visiting without being too much of a tourism attraction is our business motor. We want to improve on that by using the latest AI techniques and create a machine learning model for that. Based on this, we add more content. We also plan to cooperate with local influencers and create a reward system as well. But not only Düsseldorf is amazing. There are other cities in NRW, Germany, and the world that are worth exploring too. We want to make locally available everywhere and for everyone. Before we go, let's check in with Greg one last time. Best vacation ever. Getting to know all these places made this an amazing experience. I fell in love with Düsseldorf right away. Thank you, Greg. And also thank you, DigiHub and HUAWEI, for hosting this hackathon. It was an amazing experience for us as well. And now, it's time for you. Let us know what you think of Locally.
Thank you very much. Stefan from NanoGiants. Smart approach, bringing together locals and tourists, of course. Dear jury, last pitch of our first half, great finish. What questions do you have?
Nice. Thank you very much. Cool, cool pitch, and good to see that you're using lots of technology to make it happen. That warms my heart. But actually, my question is not about the technology part, but yes. You said it's curated by locals. So yes. Could you tell us a little more on how you want to make sure that the curation works fine, and how to actually incentivize also that locals contribute to the community?
Yeah. This is an... Okay, we have 2 parts. The first one, the content is reviewed by editors. They have criteria for that, on how to decide, is this something for our app? And also, later on, we will have a machine learning model. So we are pretty safe on determine, is this some content for our app? So for the incentivation part, we want to create a reward system which incentivizes the user. And we also use content which is already available. There are influencers, for example, which create content like that. For example, in Cologne, there is an influencer who writes about his favorite spots in the city and makes a tour for that. That content is available. We just have to ask them if we can use them in our app.
Okay, thanks.
I've got one question. Why do you need AR technology in this app?
AR technology is used for immersing into the content. So when you want to visit Düsseldorf, and you have 40 interesting locations which we got from DigiHub, for example, you have to decide. So you cannot visit them all. And augmented reality and also text-to-speech, for example, helps you decide which are the places that are for you.
At the start of your presentation, you took a picture of the Rhine River Tower and placed it in front of the Tonhalle.
Yes.
So what was the idea behind this?
The idea was that we were on the Tonhalle, and we thought, okay, we have time to visit another location, and we used the app to decide which is the location we want to visit next. Then we saw that there is an image where we can pan through and see, oh, that's an interesting building. It looks like a telephone tower or something like that. Let's see more about that. We searched it in the app, we found it, and we saw the tower, and it's amazing, it's huge. We want to see that live in nature.
Okay. So, time is up now. Fantastic finish of our first half. A huge applause to Stefan from NanoGiants.
Thanks.
So Jana, kind of halftime right now. I'm deeply impressed of our first presentations. The bar has been set high now.
Extremely high, I think. I fully agree, and I'm not sure about you, dear audience. We are in a nice location, and we know there are 5 more great pitches to come, but there's a little bit the wish to go out into our nice town and to discover. And the good news is, although you are here, you can do this now. We have now a short relaxing break for you, where we want to discover Düsseldorf in the real life. So we will present to you now the latest product of Düsseldorf tourism, which was developed during the beginning of the Corona pandemic. It's the first digital and live city walk, which allows national and international tourists to explore Düsseldorf from home very easily, out of the living room or from the sofa. Especially in times where traveling is restricted and reduced, I think it's a fantastic way to give curious travelers like myself a nice way to travel around while you are still safe at home. So let's welcome our tour guide, Katja Stüben, who will now walk us, together with a small group of visitors from Berlin, through a few nice areas of our state capital. Katja, are you already here? Ah, there she is.
Hi.
Hi, Katja.
Hello.
So,
hi. Hi, Jana.
Welcome to the real Düsseldorf. I'm glad to see you. Just 1 second, I forgot to say something for the audience inside. As I said, it's a break. We know that you all sat down for quite a while. If you feel you need to move, you need something to drink and to eat, we have something, at least for you guys in the ISS Dome, upstairs in the business lounge. And the guys on the screens at home probably also need a short break. But I'm extremely excited to see which fantastic tour you, Katja, have developed for us today.
Yes, indeed. Jana, thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. And indeed, I've chosen a very green area because I've heard that you were fully packed with program today, and that you still will be fully packed. So let me invite all of you to a brief walk through the picturesque streets of what is not the surroundings of Düsseldorf, even if it seems so, but what is an inner city quarter next to Old Town. Welcome to Düsseldorf. You are my biggest audience I ever had at a tour. let me say hello to the ISS Dome and all the members watching me from there. Hello to everybody joining us via stream, live stream. And hello to my special tourist group I am connected with, so we can communicate. And my suggestion would be that you don't hesitate to ask me questions. You may say everything you like to add to my explanations. We will not have an old beer in the middle of the tour because this is digital. So please help yourself. It's self-service. Go to the fridge and take one, some drinks you like. And
yeah. Thank you very much, Katja. I think the four guys from Berlin are in a lucky position that they can ask questions and really, really follow you. We definitely follow on the screen. And yeah, we meet at the end of your tour, wherever it is. I'm curious to see.
Thank you, Jana. You can be surprised then.
I
See
will.
you then.
Thank you. Have fun.
So what we can see here, I promise under the leaves, the autumn leaves of the tree is water. Perhaps you can hear the sound. There it is. It's a small river. No, it's not the River Rhine. It's the River Düssel. Does someone of my tourist group ever heard something about the word Düssel? Are you still with me?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Düssel, it's like Düsseldorf, isn't it?
Right.
It's Düsseldorf, like the village on the River Düssel. Mm-hmm. And this brick wall right behind the water. Let me walk a few steps. You're invited to come with me. This brick wall shows us the original citadel wall of the 18th century. And right behind is a very quiet and wonderful garden belonging to our Stadtmuseum. So I came here by bike. I hope that during our tour you will understand what I love in Düsseldorf, what I love to do here, and why I love living here since over 20 years together with my family. So let's walk on this green land. It seems everything is close by, so you have short distances. You take your bike, you ride along the River Rhine, and you walk from here to there in a few minutes. Even if it's a big city with over 640,000 inhabitants, and even if it's the state capital of North Rhine-Westphalia, everything feels a bit relaxed. And let me show you this. This is a memorial dedicated to a lady coming from Florence in Italy, Anna Maria Luisa de' Medici. She lived here together with her husband, our Prince Elector Jan Willem. You can see him, you can see the face of him perhaps. On the right bottom side of this memorial, of this plaque, there is a face in the pillow. That means that he died long before her. And she is surrounded by some details of her Düsseldorf life, for example, paintings or literature. So she brought art to Düsseldorf. Imagine she came here in 17th century, and even if it was very good to come to Düsseldorf to that time even, she was used to have an opera in Florence. Just a moment. She was used to have an opera house in Florence. She was used to be surrounded by art galleries. So she tried to invent artworks in Düsseldorf, and still today you may visit all of our different art museums. And Anna Maria Luisa de' Medici, there is also the name of the square. You can read Anna Maria Luisa Medici Platz.
bit cobblestone. This part of the town is named Karlstadt. It's Karl's town, like the first name Karl, written with a C in the beginning, like the Karlsplatz, and like our Prince Elector Karl Theodor. Quick view through the Stadtmuseum on the rear garden. Here, Düsseldorf enlarged towards the south, and he attracted rich families who built their noble houses here, and every house wears the name like palace, in French palais, and the name of the family. So this is Palais Spee with the Stadtmuseum. Here we could have a quick coffee in the bistro right at the corner, but I'd like to take you to our right, where at the end of the street, there is another palace, NanoGiants. And here we can enjoy the 17th and 18th century facades and even wooden doors. Let me try out. I'm walking in the middle of the street, but don't be frightened. There will be no car from in front of me at the moment. I'm paying attention. One of the wooden doors that is very old, and that makes the street worth walking, of 17th and 18th century. On the opposite side, the yellow building, this was the school of one of the famous German poets and lyricists. Will not come out himself right now. The poet and lyricist was born in the heart of Düsseldorf's old town. His name is Heinrich Heine, and he went to his lyceum here. You can see the plaque that is dedicated to him. And on the opposite side, you can find the Heinrich Heine antiquarian. It's another in Old Town, in his birth house. And even if you may not have heard anything about Heinrich Heine, perhaps you have heard about a very famous song, the Lorelei song. By the way, the Polish Institute of Düsseldorf. The Lorelei song, the lyrics are written by Heinrich Heine, who was born here in 1797. And still today, this building housing his school, still today, it's a school for children. The Lorelei song, I try to start. Ich weiß nicht, was soll es bedeuten, dass ich so traurig bin. These are the lyrics from Heinrich Heine. In the meantime, our university is named after him. Palais Hetjens with our ceramics museum. And I'm very curious about if you find this so interesting like I do. There is a bride on the pillar waiting for her husband since years. Christoph Pöggeler, a graduate from Academy of Arts, he puts every few years new figures on columns, and these are the so-called saints of the pillars. People like you and me, but set on the top on a column. Last quick view into Citadel Street. We saw the Citadel Wall. This is Citadel Street. And now we are proceeding to one of my famous spots in Düsseldorf. And right at the end of this street, we will see the River Rhine. But in the meantime, let me show you one of our small cozy museums, the Ceramic Museum. Showing a wide range of work of about 800 years. Sorry, 8,000 years, of course. Started in Anatolia very early. Another brick wall. Let's try to put our hands on it. This belongs to the former prison of 19th century. End of the street, on the right side, there's a church, a former Franciscan monastery, St. Maximilian. And this in 19th century was the prison, and still today in the building right behind. Let's explore that. There is one small room still with no light from outside, with no windows, but it's not the prison, it's the film museum with a very, very nice art film cinema where you can watch films in the different original languages. Can you still hear me, my dear group from Berlin? Are you still with me? Is everything fine with?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Loud and clear.
How is the weather today in Berlin? You can't see it from where you sit. Similar, yeah.
Yeah,
so it's one.
A little bit gray, not as sunny anymore.
Yeah, even if it's the beginning of autumn, it seems to be one of the very last late summer days. And if it didn't happen until yet, I think I could convince you to understand why I live in Düsseldorf and why I like to show. And then we'll have the first waves as a design on the pavement, the first waves of the river. And imagine when we walk a bit fast, everything seems to be moving. What is the same effect if you had too much old beer in Old Town? All important River Rhine, a big shipping lane, and Düsseldorf stretches along the river on about 42 kilometers, what sounds unbelievable, but you can see it on maps of the city of Düsseldorf. And tell me, what is the highest peak of those 3 peaks we can see in the picture right now? What do you guess is in reality the highest one?
I'm pretty sure the tower is higher than the bridge, no?
Yes, it is. The tower is our Rhine Tower. It was constructed as a telecommunication tower in the 80s of the last century. And it's one of the landmarks of Düsseldorf. And I think everybody of you should have seen it today because it's one of the signs of the hackathon. And this is our Rhine Tower. You can take the elevator to enjoy a nice view from the observation deck. And there's even a revolving restaurant in it. And the Rhine Tower is surrounded by a very modern part of Düsseldorf that I will show you when the view in a few minutes, a bit downriver, will be better. On the opposite side, 10% of Düsseldorf is situated there. Due to the current of the river, it's the left-hand side. We are on the right-hand side. And in a few distance, we just can see the Old Town silhouette of Düsseldorf. Sorry for that. I don't want to make you feel dizzy. This is the small white castle tower, the only part remaining from an old town palace. You remember Anna Maria Luisa de' Medici and her husband, the Prince Elector Jan Willem. They lived there in the town palace. And still today, the remaining part of it, the white castle tower, remains us, or yeah, gives us some gives us a picture of the old town palace. Right behind, there's another spire. It's the oldest church of Düsseldorf, St. Lambert's Church, with a twisted spire, another landmark, directly situated on the River Rhine. And from here you can see our promenade is divided into a lower one and an upper one. We take the upper one because the view is good from here. Don't get wet feet on the waves or in the waves. Rhine Tower behind me. And this is what I love, to come every day, if it's possible, to the river, to gaze on the other side where you have the Rhine meadows. Every few days you can see a flock of sheep over there, keeping the grass short. And White Castle Tower, an old St. Lambert's Church, a Gothic church of 14th century. They stand for the heart of Old Town. So the promenade is going all the way down from in front of us, where you can see perhaps the next bridge, the central Oberkassel Bridge, because it connects Oberkassel on the opposite side of the river to Düsseldorf and Düsseldorf's Old Town. And the promenade is going all the way down, connecting the Media Harbor with the Rhine Tower. And at the moment, due to the sunset in the direction of the Rhine, you can see the silhouette. The Media Harbor itself, it's worth a 2 hours tour to give you explanations about all the architecture, because architects all over the world made their suggestions to this urban renewal. This was the old industrial harbor, Rhine Harbor of Düsseldorf, that was from the late 70s of the last century on, restructured because of the upcoming services sector. So you can still find old warehouses and storehouses next to modern buildings. Most of the buildings would remind us about ships and cranes and maritime harbor themes. And of course, Franco Gehry, about 20 years ago, he realized his Gehry buildings on the right bottom of the Rhine Tower. So when you follow the Rhine Tower and the next buildings to the right, you cannot really see it. There's a white one at first, and he realized 3 single buildings. They are full of strange nooks and crooks, and they seem to dance when you see them. Perhaps when you come back and you enjoy the Media Harbor in the morning light condition. The level meter shows us the water level of the River Rhine. And I'd like to take you with me a few steps further to the right. So we're leaving River Rhine and we're coming closer to Düsseldorf's Old Town that is situated directly on the river. I have to wait a bit because many people on their bikes will pass through. Do you have any questions? Hope you still feel comfortable. We're nearly at the end of our short tour, and I really would love if you'd like to come back one day to explore the really real Düsseldorf, perhaps the old town with its origins of medieval ages. Here is something interesting. Left-hand side in the door, there are some marks from 18th century showing us how high the water level when we had flood disaster came up to this level. Since about 120 years, we have that wall along the River Rhine dividing the upper and the lower promenade, and this wall protects us against flood disaster since then. And I'd like to finish our small tour with one of our special museums. Of course, in Düsseldorf, we have a Carnival museum. You know, one time per year, we're celebrating Carnival, and this season will be very special due to Corona. So no kissing, no hugs, but the motto or the title of the season of the Carnival, just a moment, here you can read it, Wir feiern das Leben, we celebrate life. And in my opinion, this is a nice expression to finish with for right now. Thank you for your patience and thank you for everything. Perhaps we'll meet one day again here in this street or a bit further on our market square where we have our city hall and the equestrian statue of Jan Willem. Take care, keep your distance, but let's communicate to each other like we do here in the Rhineland. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Katja. Have a nice day.
For the tour.
Yeah, thank you very much, Katja and the team from Berlin. I'm not sure, how do you feel? Did you book your flight already to visit Düsseldorf soon? I think it seems as if autumn is coming and yeah, we need to take care of the sound in these windy days a little bit. But yeah, it was a nice tour showing us both sides of Düsseldorf, the historic as well as the modern side. So, as we only could put in a short break because our program is so fully packed today, we had to keep it short. But if you, dear audience, either here in the ISS Dome or outside on the screens, like this appetizer, you can book a full tour through the old town together with Katja or her colleagues. You just visit the homepage of Düsseldorf Tourism and then you book your slot. And I also don't know how you see this, but I think it's extremely impressive how differently the digitalization is enriching everyday's life for all of us, especially over the last couple of weeks and months. I think we have seen progress in many areas for our lives. So let's see if we get some completely different ideas compared to our first slot. And we look into the second round of our final pitches. It will be the same procedure. So we have 5 development teams. They will pitch for the 7 minutes as we discussed before. And then we have time for 3 minutes of question. Our first team today in the second round is our team called UNKENPOWER. Welcome to the 2 sisters, Vera and Ann-Christine from the Digital Career Institute of Düsseldorf. In their application, they mentioned that the potential in terms of tourism apps in Düsseldorf is not yet exhausted. They like exciting challenges and are very interested in technology. I'm sure, and I guess I know, it was a challenge, but I found it really impressive that you two girls made it up to the end. We are curious to see what your app is about. The stage is yours.
So Düsseldorf has more to offer than you think, and our tourist app will show you where. Maybe you know it, you look for places to stay when you go on holidays, and before you go, you check a lot of websites due to your interests. That's my problem. But we also asked family and friends, what do you miss in tourist apps? Most answers were related to the content. People saying they prefer blogs or Instagram feeds to look for local news and suggestions, or sometimes the suggestions are not on point anymore. In worst cases, the place is already closed, or the event doesn't take part on that day. The other part is the tech options. Many apps don't offer the possibility to create the map you want for your interests. And other people claim that UX design is not friendly enough for them to use it. That's the reason why we participated in this hackathon, to bring more and creative ideas into that. But before I go too much into details, let's see how our first users experienced our app.
Meet our friends Charlotte and Jules. They live in Frankfurt and spend the weekend with us in Düsseldorf. Charlotte works in corporate communication and Jules is a photographer. Since Vera and I were busy with the preparations for the hackathon, we could only spend a little time together. So Charlotte and Jules were on their own in their free time. For this reason, they started to search a variety of websites and apps at home for recommendations and their interests. This means a lot of scrolling, copy and paste to plan your own route. So it was all the more convenient for them to test our app D-Walk. Within a short time, they found a common route. They start at the Kiefernstraße. Since Charlotte started painting herself, she's interested in street art. And with a little help of D-Walk, she found a lot of places in the street. Through the integration of AR points, the search for information around the site becomes a little game. In addition to pure tourist information, more detailed information is integrated by links of the website. Besides a lot of cool house facades, they also have the opportunity to listen behind the walls. The location trigger of the HUAWEI AR engine allows the integration of music. Clubs can offer small previews on their program. After a short break, Charlotte and Jules make their way to the stations chosen by Jules. His route leads from the Tonhalle along the Rhine to the Media Harbour. Besides the beautiful weather, they enjoyed the view of the Rhine. Although the two had been in the city before, they had the opportunity to see new sides of Düsseldorf from a different angle. By the way, their Instagram profile adorns pictures of a great day. Just have a look.
So what you already seen are contents validated to architecture, street art and music. We also complemented culture aspects and content. But how does it work? You have to combine your interests and choose for things you like to see. By picking out your favorite spots, you are able to plan your own route. Stroll around and get to know your neighborhood is also a possibility with the nearby function. Technical resources we use are the HMS Sidekick, the map kit, the location kit, and the image service of HUAWEI. But that's not the end of it. We want to compromise our app and put it with a lot of more great content. For example, there is already amazing VR and street art opportunities to see. For example, a cooperation with the VR Underground Worringer Platz could be an option, or cooperation with the Düsseldorfer Bütchentag to get a plan where you want to go. The main point we wanted to put in our app is a street art archive, because that is something unique we wanted to get with our AR apps. There are already 5 or 6 AR apps, especially for Düsseldorf, so you have to point out a special trigger to get the interest of locals and tourists. We are the team who designed and created it. We are the D team. And we are the right people, because we are already a team for 27 years. We are Düsseldorf lovers since Vera moved here in 2007. We never missed a good carnival or a summer at the Rhine side. We are travel enthusiasts and street art discoverer. We are quite new to coding and programming. Vera started 2019 with web development. Before that, she did online marketing and SEO, and I'm working as a junior consultant in a PR agency. I'm a newbie to coding, but we really had a lot of fun figuring out how the HUAWEI kits worked out and tried to figure out how we can combine everything for something with value to people who are using this. The way is the goal, and we hope we can convince you with this presentation. If you need further information, you can contact us for sure. And we are happy to listen to your questions and hopefully can answer those.
Do you want to go to one side? Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Vera. Thank you, Ann-Christine. I think it's very nice to see some attractions which are outside of the normal tourism maps. I was impressed. I'm also not born in Düsseldorf, and I thought I know a lot, but I learned new places. That's always fantastic, and I think showing street art is also something you don't see too frequently. So, what about our jury? Do you have questions for these two ladies?
Being a driving force in tourism, I especially like the part about urban art, and I wonder how you really realize this feature. Is it a wall, and then there's this old urban art thing plopping up, or how does it work?
Yeah, that could be a possibility. Actually, we did a route and pinpoint some locations or areas where you can have a look, and the plan is to use also panorama kit and AR to let the users capture the wall or maybe something else, and then put it there with a location trigger or like geofence, so you can see like the wall over time and how it develops. So we have like basically this agenda and write kind of street art history.
Yeah, that gives also the options to see if the street art or graffiti is still there, because that's a common problem of street art, that it's gone pretty quickly, and while we are doing the editorial, we can check this out and give good recommendations.
Any other question?
What kind of other function or AR functions you would like to integrate? I understand this is the history part in a way that you can see what kind of street art has been on the wall a couple of months ago or a year ago. So you have to walk around through the city every month to get the information. And did I understand it right that you would like to integrate music when you are at a special location and you can hear music which is combined to the location? Is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's more value of information, like you go somewhere and you don't want to open the app yourself. So it sends like a geo trigger from the latitude, longitude, and then you get sent like additional stuff, like program or music or what's going on inside.
And that's maybe quite handy if you're strolling through the Altstadt, you can already check out in the morning what music is played in this club you're checking out, maybe for the evening.
Good point.
Girl power on stage. I really like it. Thank you,
you.
girls. And my question is, what about street art without street art? I mean, a virtual street art. So you don't have the art on the houses, but you have to be there on, like with the GPS function, and then I can see like the angel wings in California or something, and I do my picture and post it on Instagram.
Yeah, sure, that's also possible to add in, but we preferred so far the cooperation with the VR Museum Underground of Worringer Platz, because they already created this content, this VR content.
It's like a subway station, and it closed in the mid-90s, and it's full of graffiti, and they preserved it until this day. But I think 2 years ago they did a VR tour or VR experience down there, so it's already existing, and it's a bit pity that it's not public anymore.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry, time is over. Well done, and we move on to our next team. Big applause for the ladies. Yeah, I have to say I was very happy over the last 2 hours. For me, it was a corona-free zone, knowing it's a hybrid event, of course, that there are some audience sitting outside and not with us, unfortunately, but it felt a little bit like a real event. Unfortunately, now we are suffering from this pandemic. We have this European team sitting in Vienna, the Blue Hackers, and because Vienna is currently on the risk list, the only way to bring them in tonight is via video or via our Zoom session. So welcome with me online, and I'm happy that it's still possible. Our team, always in the car, whenever I see you, you are driving, so you know who is in the driver's seat here. Our team, Blue Hackers, and I mean, so I think you can understand the guys had no chance to come to Düsseldorf. There is no video of Düsseldorf, so compared to the other teams, there's a small disadvantage, but I think you worked very hardly on this, strongly on this concept, and I'm curious to see what you are bringing to us today. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Amazing. First of all, hi to everybody over there, and thank you for having us. So today I will be presenting on the behalf of my team our concept of Muse AR, the Augmented Museum Experience. Can go to the next slide, please. And our table of contents is going through the story, our motivation, why we are doing it, and you will see how it is a very big deal for us and a big dream. Our second milestone would be defining the problem, and putting some lights on some dark spots that are the real problems of today's age. The third stop will be our vision, our solution, our value, and how we can fix this current problem, and how will be our application, and how we will add the real value. The first stop will be our team, a short presentation on our team. Next slide, please. Here, the fifth slide will be stopping by the milestones. We'll be more presenting the core features of our application, of our solution, how much time they would need, and when and how we will use our resources. Sixth viewpoint would be the business model, and it's how we kind of will make this concept be a reality, how we will fund it, how it will fund itself to be a solution. A solution has to feed itself somehow and to stay alive. 7 is the competition. We have done market research on the solutions that are already out there, and we really think that we have an added value on this. 8, it's just questions, and you can please feel free to ask any of the questions you have. You can go to the next one, please. So our story is as basic as it is. It's not something that's crazy, and still it is really amazing. Our story starts with the intersection of our competence and our vision. We have competences, and you will see in the team, we are two in the team. It's me and my friend, and also a very close friend. And we have very divergent career paths and very divergent visions. I would say I am the future. She's the history. She's kind of the past. I'm the technology. Should be like the old method. And this is our story. We wanted to make something happen out of this synergy, out of this whole combination, out of this past and the future. And we're gonna do it in this present. And this is what we are going to do here for you. Next slide, please. So this is a quote that actually intrigued me, and I don't know how it will resonate with you, but it resonated with me a lot since I was in the first part of it. And the first part of it says, we are not makers of history, but we are made by history. And somehow, as a technology futuristic guy, done computer science, it really has resonated with me. And in the team, I will present myself more in more detail. And my partner is more focused on the history itself. So this is a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. that I really wanted to share with you today. The next slide, please. So the problem is, first of all, we have those physical boundaries restricting the access to the common knowledge and the global history aggregated in the museums. And the greatest example is this pandemic, coronavirus. You can't go to the museums anymore. And how can you access to that knowledge? How can you be there? This is the first part of it. And the second part of it is the current state recorded in history. It's still mostly very static, very antique, very recorded with old method. There is some movements with digitalization. But we feel that it lacks some speed. It lacks some. It lacks some coherence. It lacks some. Yeah, there's a lot of things that lack in this, and especially with someone who really research history, who really wants to learn about from where he comes. Next slide, please. So yes, this is our vision. With the 5G AR engine that Huawei is really putting on the line, and I'm very happy. Thank you very much for making this available. We really see a very strong potential for our concept to surface, to be a reality. And also here, we haven't added the virtual reality aspects. There will be, in our vision, we would love to add the virtual reality aspects, and you can feel free.
Probably driving too fast right now. Network is gone. Let's see if we can bring him back.
On the question.
So you were gone for a second, but you also have only a couple of minutes left. Could you speed up? Thank you.
Okay, I think it's quite straightforward. It's not that we have just 8 slides. So, how many minutes, please?
Officially, time is gone, but you were interrupted, so you have 30 seconds left.
I am pretty. So I really wanted it to be because it's really a very personal project, and I wanted to explain it as best as I can. So the second part of our vision is to have a virtual network of museums and aggregating the history of all museums and have the shared knowledge, and the history is from everybody, from everyone to everyone. And we want what we want to do with Düsseldorf, even if we're not here, we want to make them the first early adopters of this technology and this engine and everything. Next slide, please. So our team is very modest. We're kind of still studying, both of us. Even me, I am still enrolled in both these computer science degrees. And my partner is in her Bachelor of History. And also I am a social engineer. So I can be the reliable guy on the technical stuff, and my partner is definitely the more reliable on the history and how to make all these concepts come to life. I would be the implementation, she would be the abstracts or the roadmap. So this is how we are in our team. And we're not talking about here the resources that we will need to make this concept surface. We are just here to present the idea. Next slide. So these are the milestones you will see. Is like 12 months from October to August, and we have a time for the AR-based engine that it will support almost all the museums. Anyway, our idea, if it's not clear till now, it's just an app that is networking between museums, and that includes augmented reality for the visitors to augment the reality in the museums, and also make them, even if they are not in the museums, with this augmented reality that we will do in the museums, with all this data, with all these models, we want to bring the museums to them. Since we are doing it in a virtual reality way, we are doing it in the museum, we wanted to bring him that museum. It's coronavirus time, and it's hard to go to a museum. We love to go to museums. We are living in Vienna just for museums, and we just can't go to museums, and this is a problem.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you very much. I'm really sorry, time is gone. You talked about museums, and I know you are in a situation that you cannot come to Düsseldorf, but if you would have had the last 2 days, which museum would have been your favorite to start with to explore it for your app?
For Düsseldorf or for...
For Düsseldorf, sure.
Yeah. You asked me a very hard question about Düsseldorf. I didn't do all my homework.
Okay, sorry, that was not the intention of my question. I was just curious.
I hope so. It doesn't discredit me here.
No worries, and it shouldn't be my time for questions.
I have one who has prepared it. I have one for you. I'm not alone in this team.
Very good. So it's now time for the jury to ask additional questions.
Okay.
So museum is more than artifacts. How you get the feel of a museum to the user?
Okay, I would love just from the presenters to stop one slide afterward. It's like the slide of the business model, and just they can cut our image or just put it a bit, and just you can read. And please, I would love you to just repeat the question very closely.
Museums are not only about artifacts, but also about the feeling you have in a museum wandering around. How do you transport this feeling with your app?
Exactly, this is the part we're not including in our presentation in our pitch here, is the virtual reality part. I feel like you, when I go to museum, there is this amazing feeling, and it can't be really replaced unless you're there. But at least when people can't go there, they can at least have something very close to it with those AR models. Instead of having those AR models staying in the museum, we can bring them actually to our virtual reality engine as well, since 5G supports AR and VR. And I wouldn't, it won't be the feeling that you feel in the museum, but for sure it will be very close to it, unless it will be at least something that makes you closer to it.
If we are talking about AR, we can use all our senses, so not only
VR,
yeah, of course.
Very good. Is there another question from the jury? So then I'm curious, where are you driving to now?
To Düsseldorf, and we got stops in the border.
All right. Thanks for joining us from the car as usual. All the best. Stay safe and healthy in Vienna. And yeah, we see you hopefully soon again.
Oh, thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. All right. So, next team, unfortunately, is suffering a similar situation. Nixa lives in Croatia, with country. Goran lives in Sweden, and we know flight schedules are also not so reliable anymore as they were a couple of months ago. Flight was cancelled, and overnight the pitch person has to be changed, but fortunately, it's a full European team with one team member living here in Germany, so that we can now welcome Mohamed on the stage, representing a team of IT experts that have a lot of experience with various technologies. They already attended multiple hackathons together, and I think they have a lot of fun when they spend time in hackathons across countries. Welcome, Mohamed, and Team Awesome.
Hello, so my name is Mohamed. I'm representing Team Awesome here, and I'm going to tell you how we build augmented reality solution for the city of Düsseldorf. So the challenge, we approached this challenge thinking, how can we build a fully scalable solution that can be easily applied for different cities and not only for the city of Düsseldorf. So for that, we started by building the website, and from here, the administrator can log in to the dashboard, which provides a lot of powerful insights. So in our case here, the admin will be, for example, one person working for the tourism office in Düsseldorf. And here, they can add locations and add AR content as well. And they can also edit these locations and edit, for example, description, or if there is some places that needs to be just temporary or for a certain season. And so we made it very easily to add and edit these locations and AR content. And also you can have an overview of all the locations and the content you have in a map. We also provide analytics on how the end user is interacting with the app, or which content are they viewing, or which location they're visiting more often. And yeah, once we're done with the dashboard, we start building the app that is powered by the HUAWEI AR kit, and not only the AR kit. And you will see it in the video. So the augmented reality kit allows us to display the AR content in the app. And we didn't stop there. So we were thinking how to make good use of all the technology available on the HUAWEI SDK. And we thought, because we know that there is studies that showing that teenagers are using more mobile than adults, so we thought about customizing some content for this age group. And for that, we use the machine learning kit to detect the age of the user. So with the use of the camera and the machine learning kit, it's easy to know the actual age of the user. So we use for that the machine learning kit, and we also thought about the youngest users. So usually when you go as a tourist, there's a lot of people that go with family and with children, and visiting museums can be sometimes annoying with children. They get bored so quickly. And we saw that once there was a museum that was making kind of treasure hunt game in the museum itself. So we tried, we thought, why not including this in the app with the AR? So these kind of interactive games that we included. So for that, we use this small iBeacon device. It's very easy to, it's also doesn't cost much. And this device can be detected with the app thanks to the awareness kit. So the iBeacon in combination with the awareness kits will allow us to add these interactive games. And yeah, so the app, our app in general is AR app for tourism that shows different content based on the age group. And let's watch the video now. Yeah.
Düsseldorf AR is a new augmented reality application that will allow you to experience the city of Düsseldorf in a unique way. Backend for the application is built as a fully scalable solution that can also be utilized for the other cities. Easy administration allows user to add new or edit existing augmented reality locations. All locations are displayed on the map for the easier overview. Powerful dashboards and analytics provides insights how end users use the application. With use of machine learning, application is able to display different content based on the end user age. With the power of 5G, users can enjoy in high-quality augmented reality content. Application is also capable of detecting iBeacons, and with that technology many different interactive games for the youngest ones can be created.
So the team behind this app is me, Goran, and Niksha. As Jana said, they were not able to be here. We worked on it fully remote since we are based in 3 different countries. And yeah, our next steps. So our next step, we want to develop this application further with the city of Düsseldorf, because the creation of this good AR content can be time consuming, and it needs assistance from the city as well. And after that, we would like to publish the app in the store and also make a marketing campaign for it. And if this works out very well for Düsseldorf, we'll be happy to extend it also to other cities. So thank you very much.
Thank you, team awesome. I think a very different approach, but still awesome. And I guess, at least in my brain, there are plenty of questions. How about the jury?
What did you create during the hackathon? The dashboard? What else?
Sorry?
What did you create or developed during
the
hackathon?
Yeah, we created the dashboard. It's already online. and it's live. I can share the link with you. We created also the creation of the data points and returning them to the app, and yeah, showing the AR content as well. Yeah. The reason why we didn't show it here is that we only had one phone, and it was in Malmö. So showing Düsseldorf content in Malmö looked a little bit ridiculous, so we didn't want to include it in the video.
For me, it's not easy to get the idea because I don't know how it looks like.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is exactly the idea behind the AR? What are the functions and what is the usage for the user?
Yeah. So older people and adults are more interested in the historical facts and so on. And so when you most of the other apps, when you take your phone and look at this area, you want to have more information. And there are some information like the historical one, like more older people are interested, and there is the fun part or the party part that younger people are interested, and we balance between both based on the user age. And the other part, which is in the museum, that iBeacon can be used for the children to look for small treasures or hands or small games for kids. So these are the three different use cases.
So for how many age groups did you tailor your offering?
Only 3 for now. So we separate them by the kids, like from 12 and under, and teenagers and adults from 25 and up. Okay,
and you have different content for these 3 groups?
Yeah, for now, yeah. For now, we tried just a proof of concept of different content, but of course, this can be developed much further. Yeah, especially based on the user feedback on that.
Okay, understand. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I understand, right? You have to tell the app how old you are, so that the app is knowing which kind of content you can use, or how does it work, or should it work?
Yeah, so the administrator is the one who's adding this content. And when adding it, he can decide, or she can decide which age group is that, or can make it for everyone, if it's content for everyone. So who decides that is only the administrator of the city. They know better.
Yeah, and how? And if I use the phone, how know the app that I'm the older generation instead of the younger ones as my kids?
Yeah, good question. So we use for that the machine learning kit from the HUAWEI SDK, and basically it only needs to take a picture of the face. You just need to authorize the app to take the picture, and by seeing that, it can easily detect the age with a very good precision.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Time was flying again, and it's over for you. Big thank you to Goran in sunny Sweden and Nixa in sunny Dubrovnik. Sorry to miss you here today, but yeah, thanks for spending the time the last 2 months with us, and at least we continued via Zoom as we started. Have a good next hackathon, all in one place, hopefully again in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, only 2 pitches left. The next one is a team I think our DigiHub knows already for quite a while. It's a team from North Rhine-Westphalia, from Soest, SpotAR. Some of you might have heard about the next generation city guide already. It's available in Soest and Lübeck, and perhaps soon in Düsseldorf. I think it's not only known by the DigiHub, the team of Victor, who will pitch for us now. Even Minister Pinkwart was in Soest a couple of weeks ago to test the app live. So, Victor, show us what you have available for Düsseldorf already.
Okay, now the stakes are high. Oh. Thank you. My name is Vic. I'm from Soest. I'm the founder of SpotAR, and what we do is the next generation city guides. For this hackathon, we developed the app Düsseldorf Tour, which we used from the Düsseldorf tourism logo. I hope it's okay. Jana said it's okay to use all the content. And actually, this is what we did. We used all the content provided in this hackathon and put it in one app. All we got from in our content management system. But right now, those city guides are not possible, and most of them are boring, like this. So this is why we decided to make a Düsseldorf tour, and this is a video I'll show you in the first. So we really use AR to navigate around the city and see what exciting point of interest are in the city in an experience and fun way. Built-in navigation from point to point, also tours. We have, for example,
die Ratinger Straße. Die Ratinger Straße in der Düsseldorfer Altstadt ist eine der ältesten Straßen der Stadt und stammt aus dem 14. Jahrhundert. Die Straße spielt in der Düsseldorfer Stadtgeschichte eine bedeutende Rolle. Seit ihrer Entstehung ist die Ratinger Straße ein Treffpunkt unterschiedlicher Institutionen und Milieus.
This was German content. It's also possible in English, in whatever language this phone is put into, because in the next step I will show you the content management system where you can decide in which language the content is played for the tourist in the end. So now we are at the Tonhalle. Navigation brought us there, and we get the information about the place. Also, it's possible play the audio content which is placed there. It's just an MP3 loaded up in our content management system, and so you can enhance. And what we also did, integrate Matterport. We got a lot of Matterport inside views from museums in Düsseldorf, and we integrated into the app. It's just a link, so the Düsseldorf tourism just has to drop a link into the content management system, and it will be live in the app. So we don't need to update the app. It will be changed. It's a living app because a lot of content can be added by just a click. And this is how the content management system looks. We have a list of all the POEs, and here's how I create a point of interest. For example, the ISS dome. We are here right now. We just click on the map where it is, and we can drag and drop the pin, and so we create augmented reality content by drag and drop. And this in Lübeck and Soest is used by an older lady. She's 60, and she told us it's a really easy to use system. And also, this is a nice part, we create QR codes. You can put this QR code in front of the dome, for example, and the user can access it, and the app opens and plays the content which is behind it. So yeah, also 3D content for models and tours. For example, this tour, we created a Kunst tour, where you can just drag and drop the points, and this is the route you create for the tourist. So he goes from this to this to this, and then you tell him, okay, it takes like 20 minutes to take this tour. And this is an easy to use, and yeah, like Jana already told, we have already customers using it. Yeah, here a little proof that we really use 5G with telecom, and yeah, this is a good proof, but I think this one here is a better proof. We were at Telecom here in Düsseldorf at the shop, and they are making photogrammetry models of yourself. This is me dancing. I wish I could dance like this, but I can't. And this could be, for example, the beloved son of Düsseldorf, Heinrich Heine, telling you the story of Düsseldorf and bringing you through the city. So there is already the technology, and we contacted the startup Dupe. They are sitting here in Düsseldorf to cooperate. Okay, for the app, we thought, okay, let's go the hard way, because what we did is not only develop the app for HUAWEI, we brought it already for iOS and Android ready. So it can be used now. For HUAWEI, we actually had to write our own bindings for Xamarin. It's a cross-platform development kit, so we had to go new ways, and this is what we wanted. Let's take a look at the vision, and this is what we created with Unity, but right now Unity and HMS is not working properly. This is working on iOS and Android, and it will be in the future. This is what we got told. So this is a scene from the Tonhalle where we have the live concert in 8K streamed via 5G. So you can be in the middle of the concert, in your living room from your sofa. And this is also something to try out things before you pay for it. So we can get a rebate or something, buy the ticket for this too. Here's another example of the Wheel of Vision. We worked together with 360 Up, a Düsseldorf startup. They provided us this content. This is actually the Wheel of Vision, and you can see how it is on your sofa from home, and also get extra content when you look around. And yeah, the next big step for us will be AR glasses. Then AR will be really the next big thing. And this is why we also cooperate with Vodafone here in Düsseldorf. We are in part of the Vodafone Uplift program, and we are already developing 5G cases together. The next step will be, we rebuild Rome in one day, and rebuild, for example, also the Acropolis, so you can see things, how they looked before with your smartphone. And this is technology in the cloud. It's the so-called edge cloud, where the rendering happens and streamed to the device. So our team is part of 2 developers focused on Android and iOS, and AR content design, and also me. I'm the sales and marketing guy. And yeah, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. You can find us on Instagram, see some content, and yeah, thank you. Also shishi to our Chinese friends.
Thank you, Victor. Wow, I think it's nearly ready to go, right? What are your questions, dear jury?
Cool. Hi, Victor. A great presentation. Thanks a lot. I'd be interested to hear how the solution you presented tonight is different to what's already launched in Soest.
Different is we put it actually in a new way onto HUAWEI HMS, because it wasn't possible before. We worked it, we were thinking HUAWEI is still connected to Google services, but it is not. We had to reinvent the wheel from the beginning, because you can't use HUAWEI's Google services in HMS anymore, and you have to really reprogram everything.
Okay, but the user experience itself, is it different?
The user experience, it's the same, because we have a business model in it, and we want to reproduce it. And this is a white label software as a service solution business model we have behind it.
Okay, understand. Thanks a lot.
But actually we did a lot with those content creation here in Düsseldorf, and the Tonhalle, for example. We've been there and really made those 3D AR experiences which are not part of Soest or Lübeck.
Yeah, okay, I understand, yes. Thanks.
So all functions are already available. So if we start to work with it, we can base our ideas on your function you presented. Is it right? So right. Everything is available?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like Schlüsselfertig in Germany.
And which one is your favorite one?
The favorite city?
No, the favorite function or feature.
I think the next steps will be what we are actually working on is the AR navigation, and also those AI experience where you really enhance something and a place and tell a story. This is really a different type of storytelling we can use here.
Thanks.
Any other question? All happy? All right. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you.
That was really nice content. We are coming to the final, I would say, team number 10, team Troido, here from Düsseldorf, will be our last pitch for tonight. Troido from Zimvelop is an innovative group of Android and IoT developers, always on the pulse of time and looking for new challenges and for mobile applications. Let's welcome Borna. Was it a challenge or was it easy for you? Tell us about your approach. If it was a challenge or if it was easy.
Let's start with the demo video.
Hi, my name is Borna and we are Team Troido. We developed Dance for Düsseldorf, an Android dancing game that makes your Düsseldorf sightseeing experience more memorable and amusing. Using Huawei's AR engine, we are able to precisely detect different human body poses and movements. With that solution, we developed the game that awards points to a player when correct dance poses and moves are performed. Let me show you how this looks in action. The first screen of the app is the map screen. All the most famous Düsseldorf landmarks are pinned there, and you can easily see which sites are close by. Using Huawei's location kit, we can accurately detect our location in the map. This way, we can offer different dancing experience depending on different Düsseldorf spots. When you approach closer to the landmark, a new dance will be unlocked. You can earn points by performing the correct dance moves at the bottom of the camera screen. On the right side, you can see the total score. Let's go outside and dance.
All right. Let me tell you for a start our motivation behind the project. So our task was to develop a solution for the city of Düsseldorf to help its tourists to explore city. And to do that by using Huawei's technology. We are all living in Düsseldorf and we know how beautiful is this city. And our motivation is to put Düsseldorf in a spotlight with our solution, to create something exciting, something unique, and something potentially viral. Our solution is Dance for Düsseldorf. It's a very simple Android dancing game. Player just opens the app, and it is presented by the map where all the Düsseldorf landmarks are pinned. And basically, when the player is in a close proximity to some landmark, he can start dancing and he can earn points by performing the correct dance moves. This is possible because of the Huawei's technologies. We used the AR engine, map kit, and location kit. AR engine gave us a real-time information about human bodies, which we used to detect different dancing positions. We build our map, we build with map kit and location kit to show all the pins and to show the player's current position. 5G helped us with better and more precise location service and with higher data throughput, which is important for our future ideas. Of course, we build our app in a very flexible way, and we are all open with new ideas that we want to integrate in the future. First one is to have a leaderboards and to enable our players to compete between their friends and to make our app more competitive and addictive. Then we want to enable our players to record their dances and share them on their social media, and we believe that this will make our app more visible and enhance the reach of the app. And the last one, we want to keep adding new movements and dances to create new challenges for our players. This is my team, Troido. We are an Android software company from Düsseldorf. Over the years, we worked on some really cool projects together, and we really had a good time working on this one as well. Our vision is simple. We want our tourists to have a new way of exploring Düsseldorf, and we want to give them a platform where they can express themselves in a more positive way with dance. Additionally, we would like to continue working on this app to improve it and maybe potentially put it on the Play Store. And of course, if you want to collaborate with us, we will be happy to do that. And now I'm open for your questions.
That's a completely different way. Can I practice in my living room before I can dance on the street first?
Yes. So basically, we have also one more feature in the app, which basically explains the movement that user needs to perform.
Thank you.
How do I use your app when I'm walking alone? Do I have to ask someone next to me? Please film my dance.
Yes. Right now, with our prototype, we have this start dance button, but we definitely want to remove that in the future. We want our dance to happen when the user basically starts the dance move and not when the person presses the button. So this was just for the prototype purposes there. If you are alone, of course, you either have to find someone who will record you, or maybe we also brainstormed, and I heard one idea that maybe in collaboration with the city we can build like a poles between like close by each landmark where user can put their phone and dance in front of it. But this is just like an idea.
You told us that you wanted the dances to go viral. How would you want to achieve that?
So basically, of course, we have the experience of the similar apps where user creates its own content and shares it on the social media. So we have experiences of successful apps that are doing that. Of course, this needs to be like investigated, like what would be like the best features to do that. But yeah, we still don't know that.
So is there also music in the app? So when I dance, I listen to music that I can move to? This is the first question. And the second one, are the dances related to the locations?
Yes. This is one part that I forgot to mention. Yes, so basically each landmark provides a unique dancing experience to the user. So this makes our users more motivated to visit all the locations and also visit all Düsseldorf. About the music, we don't have the music in the app. But definitely this can be put.
So do I understand it right? So I have to first have a look on the phone how I should dance in this location, and then I do the dance, and I get scores for points how nice or well done I'm danced there, right?
Yes, I mean, maybe dance sounds a little bit complicated here. Maybe a sequence of movements can be also like some simple sequence of movements, which user can like learn upfront or knows, and then user performs that. So.
All right, time for questions is gone. I think next time I see someone dancing in the streets in Düsseldorf, I will think about Troido and Borna and the team. Thank you for creating this pitch for us today. I think we are now already thinking about the winner. Big applause, sorry. I am heavily impressed on this extensive diversity of the ideas and creativity, the different concepts we saw tonight, these innovative app features, and I think very great and new tourist experiences we discovered together. To be honest, I'm quite glad that I'm not sitting on one of these tables over there. I find it extremely difficult to decide which of the teams really earns our prize money of 15, 10 or 5,000 euros. I think all teams did really a fantastic job in terms of their development, their creativity, their presentations and the commitment over the last 2 months. You definitely deserve a little rest now, but also a big applause. Thank you to all 10 teams. So, dear jury, I'm really, really sorry, but there is no break for you. You can follow Uljana to our hidden place in this fantastic ISS dome, and then you can find out who the winner for today will be. And the question to the other guys in here and on the screens is, what are we doing in the meantime? So, sticking to our concept of introducing highlights of Düsseldorf, I'm really, really happy that we found, instead of another speech or a lot of text, a way to entertain you completely different to what we had before. We will now listen to a small concert, or short concert, of this young artist from Düsseldorf called Fabian Haupt. He is the border crosser of German pop. Pop, poetry and parkour is his motto. Sounds exciting, and I think his vita is as well. At the age of 5, he composed his first song, without knowing. 3 years ago, he even won the City Beats Prize for young Düsseldorf bands. And today, he will present us, of course, his latest songs. And you can imagine, no one here, no one here, no live concert. Everyone got used to this already, and we decided to go the same route. We invited Fabian to have a living room concert for us tonight. And I wish you a nice time with Fabian in his home here in Düsseldorf for the next 30 minutes. And then we come all back listening to the jury to find out who the winner is. Have a nice break. See you soon.
Hey everybody, this is Fabian Haupt speaking. I'm a singer-songwriter from Düsseldorf, and I'm very happy to be here tonight. I'm sitting at home. Actually, this is my attic, living room, kind of. Because of the global situation caused by COVID, I'm not able to sing live at the ISS Dome, what I would love to do, trust me. But that's the way it is, and at least I can be part of the hackathon final virtually. I hope you enjoyed the pitches and you are as excited as I am, who is winning the competition, so fingers crossed for every team. While the jury is making the decision, let me invite you to calm down and relax a bit. I'm playing some poetry, pop music with German lyrics. So this is my personal, self-made living room concert for you, and I hope you enjoy. Ich suche die Stille, wo sich unsere Herzen Briefe schreiben, dass sie es vermissen, wieder laut zu sein, zu jauchzen, weil da wieder was ist. Oh, oh, weil da wieder was ist, weil da wieder was ist. Oh, oh, weil da wieder was ist, weil da wieder was ist. Oh, oh, weil da wieder was ist. Yeah. Und wenn Alltag zu viel ist und ich darin gefangen bin, dann heißt es bleiben, um die Gitter zu biegen, um wieder laut zu sein, zu jauchzen, weil da wieder was ist. Oh, oh, weil da wieder was ist, weil da wieder was ist. Was ist, weil da wieder was ist, oh, weil da wieder was ist, yeah. Und ich suche die Ruhe vor dem Sturm unserer Stille, weil wir beide eine Hintertüre finden, um wieder laut zu sein, zu jauchzen, weil da wieder was ist. Oh, weil da wieder was ist, weil da wieder was ist. Oh, weil da wieder was ist, weil da wieder was ist. Oh, weil da wieder was ist, yeah. Ich suche die Stille, wo sich unsere Herzen Briefe schreiben, yeah, yeah, dass sie es vermissen, wieder laut zu sein, zu jauchzen, weil da wieder was ist. Oh, weil da wieder was ist, weil da wieder was ist. Oh, weil da wieder was ist, weil da wieder was ist. Oh, weil da wieder was ist, yeah, yeah. Mit dem nächsten Song möchte ich euch gerne ein bisschen Zeit schenken. Der Song heißt Blick neben die Uhr. Ich schenk dir einen Blick neben die Uhr. Das ganz große Glück in Miniatur. Das Gefühl, dass die Welt stillsteht und dass nur du dich selber drehst. Und dann fängst du an. Ich schenk dir einen Blick neben die Uhr. Das ganz große Glück in Miniatur. Das Gefühl, dass du alles schaffst, weil jetzt die Schwerkraft fliegen kann. Und dann hältst du an und du lebst den Moment. Und ich führe dich einen Schritt neben die Spur und schick dein Missgeschick in Reparatur. Denn manchmal muss man Fehler machen, später kann man drüber lachen. Und dann hältst du an. Und ich führe dich einen Schritt neben die Spur und schick dein Missgeschick in Reparatur. Es gibt schöne Dinge, die du vermisst, doch schönere Dinge, die du vergisst. Und dann hältst du an. Und dann fängst du an. Du drehst die Uhr nochmal zurück. Keine Sekunde, sondern nur ein kleines Stück. Du fängst von vorne an und du drehst den Moment nochmal auf Anfang. Und du lebst genau jetzt. Und du lebst genau jetzt und du tanzt genau jetzt. Und du lebst genau jetzt und hier. Und du lebst genau jetzt und du tanzt genau jetzt. Und du lebst genau jetzt und hier. Du drehst die Uhr nochmal zurück. Keine Sekunde, sondern nur ein kleines Stück. Du fängst von vorne an und du drehst den Moment nochmal auf Anfang. Wenn euch gefällt, was ich mache, wenn euch diese Musik gefällt, dann möchte ich euch ganz, ganz herzlich einladen dazu, einfach auch mal online vorbeizuschauen. Ihr könnt gerne unter dem Namen Fabian Haupt mich auf jeder Social-Media-Plattform finden. Und es gibt auch bei Spotify und bei Amazon Music und Google Play und was es da nicht alles gibt. Da gibt es überall Musik von mir. Hört gerne rein und ich möchte euch sehr, sehr gerne ein Lied vorspielen, was es da überall nicht gibt. Es gibt ein Video auf YouTube davon. Aber es gibt zum Beispiel diesen Song nicht bei Spotify. Glückverleger heißt dieser Song und der Kernsatz dieses Songs ist eigentlich, du findest immer dann was, wenn du nicht suchst. Weil Geschichten werden anders als im Buch. Und ich finde, das ist wirklich unfassbar, wie oft man Glück hat, wenn man es nicht erwartet. Beziehungsweise wie oft man einfach auch wirklich was findet, wenn man gerade nicht danach sucht. Und Glückverleger deshalb, weil es um 1 Cent Stück Münzen geht. Und die bringen ja bekanntermaßen Glück.
Ich geh manchmal raus und finde eine Münze und denk mir dann so. Ich fange einfach an und frage warum und stelle mich doof. Und ich suche mit all meinen Mitteln eine kleine Besonderheit, die mir ins Auge fällt. Denn ich will eine Geschichte, die allen erzählt, was ein so kleines Centstück alles erlebt. Und jeder weiß, es war bestimmt in 1000 Hosentaschen, hat viele Portemonnaies gesehen und die ein oder andere Flasche. Ob die es hatten, Glück hatten, weiß keiner. Und so ein Centstück sagt halt auch nicht, ja, mindestens einer. Mal ging's verloren, mal wurde getauscht, doch eins ist klar, mit 99 anderen kann man immer auf eins der Großen sparen. Und ganz egal, wer du bist, wenn du es findest, fragst du wieder, kann es sein, später jemand mit den Münzen Glückverleger? Du findest immer anders, wenn du nicht suchst, Geschichten werden anders als im Buch. Mach die Ohren auf und die Augen nicht zu. Oh, 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 oh. Du findest immer dann was, wenn du nicht suchst. Geschichten werden anders als im Buch. Mach die Ohren auf und die Augen nicht zu. Oh, 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 oh. Du findest immer dann was, wenn du nicht suchst. Und irgendwas Neues kommt dazu. Jede Wette, dass es nicht Planeten rettet. Aber ganz vielleicht hat dich ein neuer Teil deines Lebens bald erreicht. Und vielleicht kann aus Kleinigkeit großartig werden. Scherben bringen Glück, aber wo sind die Scherben? Suche nicht danach, sondern finde sie auf deinem Weg. Es könnte sein, dass jemand damit Glück verlegt. Du findest immer dann was, wenn du nicht suchst. Geschichten werden anders als im Buch. Mach die Ohren auf und die Augen nicht zu. Oh, 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 oh. Du findest immer dann was, wenn du nicht suchst. Geschichten werden anders als im Buch. Mach die Ohren auf und die Augen nicht zu. Oh, 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 oh. Mach die Ohren auf und die Augen nicht zu. Mach die Ohren auf und die Augen nicht zu. Du findest immer dann was, wenn du nicht suchst. Geschichten werden anders als im Buch. Mach die Ohren auf und die Augen nicht zu. Oh, 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 oh. Du findest immer dann was, wenn du nicht suchst. Geschichten werden anders als im Buch. Mach die Ohren auf und die Augen nicht zu. Oh, 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 oh. Du findest immer dann was, wenn du nicht suchst. Geschichten werden anders als im Buch. Mach die Ohren auf und die Augen nicht zu. Mach die Ohren auf und die Augen nicht zu.
Der nächste Song heißt Weltarchitekt. Und ich glaube, Weltarchitekt Sein ist genau das, was wir im Moment brauchen und machen sollten. Nicht um alles zu verändern, sondern um vielleicht auch bei sich einfach zu sein und einen ganz persönlichen Film zu erleben. Dieser Song ist für alle Träumer und ich hoffe sehr, dass dieser kleine Film in euren Köpfen entsteht. Weltarchitekt.
Du malst ein Bild und springst hinein und du tanzt ganz allein. Du wirfst die Farben wild umher und du tauchst durch das Meer. Und du kannst es keinem zeigen und keiner kann dir zuschauen in deinem Film, in deinem Traum. Du kannst jetzt aufwachen oder dich wecken lassen, doch du willst bleiben, deine eigene Geschichte schreiben. Und du baust die Welt in deinem Versteck, du machst sie perfekt, du bist Weltarchitekt. Und du baust die Welt in deinem Versteck, so wie sie dir gefällt, du bist Weltarchitekt. Und du schenkst dir einen Wald ohne Wanderwege und du tauscht Samenkörner gegen deine Säge. Du lässt die Fische mit den lila Punkten endlich frei. Du fliegst mit den Vögeln und du bist endlich dabei. Du kannst jetzt aufwachen oder dich wecken lassen, doch du willst bleiben, deine eigene Geschichte schreiben. Und du baust die Welt in deinem Versteck, du machst sie perfekt, du bist Weltarchitekt. Und du baust die Welt in deinem Versteck, so wie sie dir gefällt, du bist Weltarchitekt. Ich würde dich gern besuchen in deinem Traum. Ich würde gern versuchen, mit dir zu bauen. Du würdest staunen, was ich kann und was in mir steckt. Denn dann wär auch ich ein Weltarchitekt. Wir malen ein Bild und springen hinein und wir tanzen jetzt zu zweit. Und wir bauen die Welt in einem Versteck. Wir machen sie perfekt, wir sind Weltarchitekt. Und wir bauen die Welt in einem Versteck, so wie sie uns gefällt, wir sind Weltarchitekt. Whoa. Wir sind Weltarchitekt. Über das Land, leicht und schnell, mit ihrem Gefieder schwerelos. Über die Wolken mit dem Blick nach vorn, Flügel an Flügel im Abendrot. Ich hab sie gesehen, sie sind so frei, ich wär so gern dabei. Sie fliegen immer weiter und sie bleiben niemals stehen. Seite an Seite und ich kann sie nicht mehr sehen. Sie sind geflogen dort oben, sie werden fliegen, bis sie finden, was sie wollen, sind abgehoben dort oben und sie werden fliegen, bis sie finden, was sie wollen. Augenblick, ein schwacher Wind, sie strecken die Federn mühelos. Ich hab sie gesehen, sie sind so frei, ich wär so gern dabei. Sie fliegen immer weiter und sie bleiben niemals stehen. Seite an Seite und ich kann sie nicht mehr sehen. Sie sind geflogen dort oben, sie werden fliegen, bis sie finden, was sie wollen, sind abgehoben dort oben und sie werden fliegen, bis sie finden, was sie wollen. Ich wäre so gerne einer von ihnen, ich wäre so gern ein Vogel in der Luft, an Sternen vorbei um die Welt und fliegen hinterher, fliegen in der Luft, fliegen in der Luft, fliegen in der Luft. Sie sind geflogen dort oben, sie werden fliegen, bis sie finden, was sie wollen, sind abgehoben. Ich sage an dieser Stelle von meiner Seite aus einen ganz, ganz lieben und herzlichen Dank. Es war mir auf jeden Fall eine ganz große Ehre, mit meiner Musik Teil dieses Hackathon-Finales zu sein. Ganz liebe Grüße gehen raus an Jana für die Orga und dafür, dass du mich eingeladen hast. Vielen, vielen Dank dafür. Die Jury wird wohl gleich fertig sein. Das heißt, ich spiele jetzt meinen letzten Song und es ist ein Song, der bisher auf keinem meiner Konzerte gefehlt hat. Der Song heißt Kiesel Weitwurf Champion und ich habe diesen Song geschrieben auf einer Zugfahrt. Der Zug war so voll, dass man sich nicht mehr bewegen konnte, was in diesen Zeiten jetzt gerade wirklich undenkbar ist. Und ich habe zwischen den ganzen Menschen noch so ein kleines Stück Fenster gesehen. Und ich habe mir einfach mal überlegt, was eigentlich da draußen alles passiert. Man fährt mit 100 km/h in einem Regionalexpress von Düsseldorf nach Köln zum Beispiel. Und man fährt an so vielen Häusern vorbei, an so vielen Flüssen, so vielen Bäumen. Und hinter jedem dieser Fenster wohnt ein Mensch oder mehrere. Und all diese Menschen haben eine genauso komplexe Lebensgeschichte wie ich selber. Und wenn man den Gedanken fortspinnt, dann ist das überhaupt nicht mehr greifbar. Es ist Wahnsinn, dass man sich wahrscheinlich im Leben nie begegnet. Und dennoch sind diese Menschen da und leben ihre Geschichte. Und ein paar Geschichten habe ich mir ausgedacht und ein paar habe ich auf dieser Zugfahrt wirklich gesehen. Kiesel Weitwurf Champion, mein letzter Song. Vielen, vielen Dank. Ich bin Fabian Haupt. Macht es gut. Hast du dir mal gedacht, dass hinter jedem Fenster jemand lacht oder einen Handstand macht? Hast du dir mal gedacht, hinter jeder Tür, unter jedem Dach wird eine Spielzeugburg bewacht? Hast du mal überlegt, dass aus jedem Baum jemand winkt und Lieder übers Baumhaus bauen singt? Hast du mal überlegt, dass an jedem Fluss, an jedem See ein Kiesel-Weitwurf-Champion steht? Hast du die Fische mit lila Punkten gesehen? Und die Uhren, die sich rückwärts drehen? Hast du das Puzzle gelöst, das sich Leben nennt? Oder bist du der, den man Erfinder nennt? Hast du schon mal bemerkt, zwischen den Tannen auf dem Berg steht ein Hochseilgartenzwerg? Stellst du dir manchmal vor, in jedem Spielzeugbanktresor ist eine Kiste voll Humor? Hast du mal überlegt, hinter jeder Mauer und jeder Wand gehen Menschen Hand in Hand? Und hast du mal überlegt, dass der Kiesel Weitwurf-Champion siegt, wenn der Stein ans andere Ufer fliegt? Hast du die Fische mit lila Punkten gesehen? Und die Uhren, die sich rückwärts drehen? Hast du das Puzzle gelöst, das sich Leben nennt? Oder bist du der, den man Erfinder nennt? Oder bist du der, den man Erfinder nennt? Hast du die Fische mit lila Punkten gesehen? Und die Uhren, die sich rückwärts drehen? Hast du das Puzzle gelöst, das sich Leben nennt? Oder bist du der, den man Erfinder nennt? Hast du die Fische mit lila Punkten gesehen? Und die Uhren, die sich rückwärts drehen? Oh, hast du das Puzzle gelöst, das sich Leben nennt? Oder bist du der, den man Erfinder nennt? Düsseldorf. Es war mir eine Ehre. Vielen Dank.
Ding. 30 minutes interruption, great live gig from his living room. Fabian Haupt, Düsseldorf-based artist, and I think that was quite amazing. And Jana, now we will get the final decision. What was your highlight for today?
Oh, out of the thousands, you mean? It's really, really difficult for me, to be honest. I think I'm most impressed about the diversity of the ideas we saw today. Yes. Diversity in terms of ideas, but also in terms of target groups. And I think usually, of course, you think in your age and you think about tourists traveling around being mid-aged. But today we learned about applications for kids, for teenagers, for adults, for grandmas using apps very easily. And of course, in the first pitch, also about the different handicaps like blind people, wheelchair drivers, and deaf people who are obviously also very interested in seeing Düsseldorf and can get support with this digitalized apps and innovations we saw tonight.
Yes, I fully agree. Diversity, of course, was great. And I think we learned a lot about technology today and what is possible now and what will be possible in the near future. But what I really like is passion, if you can feel passion on stage. And for example, our first team, what I felt was, yes, there was a lot of energy on stage, and somebody had a personal need in his family as they wanted to create a solution for this problem. And that was quite amazing, and we saw a lot of solutions like this today, and cool. I really liked that.
And I can confirm, I think I was in good contact with the teams over the last 2 months. There was a lot of stress for everybody, also for our project team who made this evening happen tonight. And yeah, that they still have the power to show us what they showed us tonight with this energy is really impressive. And as I'm not the most creative person on this planet, I'm also impressed by the different approaches. So from the city walk, which you might have as a first idea when you think about a tourism app, about bringing museum input closer to the people, the approach of showing history, street art, or even the dance moves, which I think are fitting well to our Düsseldorfer Ratschläger probably as well, is really also an approach I would never have thought about myself, I have to admit.
If I think about my personal tourist wishes, what I would prefer, what I would use, what I really liked today was to travel through time, of course. If I want to explore a city I never visited before, I would love to use an augmented reality app and I could travel in time and learn about more about the history of special places or a city. And that was quite impressive. I think we had it 2 or 3 times today. And now, pressure is up to our jury. They arrived, and we are absolutely keen to learn how you decided. And first of all, we want to mention we only have winner teams for today. All 10 teams presented amazing approaches and products today. But somebody has to win, and we will start with our third prize. Our colleague Uljana Engel, head of our acceleration program Ignition, will join us on stage. Uljana, warm welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Uljana.
Perfect. Yes.
For me, it was completely clear that one special question only could come from you. It was there was a presentation with a lot of use cases, and you are a lean startup kid, of course, and you asked why so many use cases? Yes. Why don't focus on only one? It was completely clear that this question came out of your mouth.
My head. Sorry for this, guys. Okay.
Okay.
So
who made it?
Yes, who made it? I have the honor to announce the winner of the third place and the 5,000 euros. Wow, so much money. And I'm super happy to announce it. But before, you have to know, it was really hard,
I
as Jana
can
said.
imagine.
Yes,
You
as he
discussed
said.
a lot,
We
yes.
discussed a lot, but at the end we decided for 3 winners. And me, as a passionate dancer, maybe you already know, I see myself in front of the Rheinturm dancing and close to me someone else. And I'm like, hey, cool, nice to meet you. Shall we dance together? So the winner of the 3rd place is Troido. Woo! Where are you? Come on stage. They're already gone. Yay! Woohoo!
Where's the team?
Great pitch. An awesome prototype. This one is yours.
Thank you.
The money, you'll get it later.
Thank you. I would like my team to,
Yes,
to,
sure,
to
of
join
course.
Come on
Not
stage,
only you.
all
We
of
have
you.
Plenty of space here.
Yay. Only guys. Okay. So, give
Yeah.
it up here. Yes.
Congratulations, guys. I'm
You
not
too.
a good dancer,
Woo!
but I can guarantee I would use it.
So many of you. All right.
Okay, so I just want to say thank you, and I want to repeat one more time that we had a really good time developing this prototype, and yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
We're
The
looking
team of
forward to
Troido.
get your app in the App Store.
Yes.
All right.
Anyone?
Congratulations, guys. And now
Go,
leave
go.
the stage immediately.
Next one.
No.
Shall I give the microphone to the second?
I think there's a new one for the next jury member.
Perfect.
A fresh one. The second place.
The second, yeah. It's really not easy being on stage. So we had really fantastic presentation during the afternoon. And as already mentioned, it was a tough discussion. As you have seen, we need the entire time to come to a decision. But we all agree also on the second place. So, yeah, if you are creating apps or website these days, sometimes it happens that you have all the time maybe yourself or yourself as a target group in mind and not thinking about everybody who should be able to visit a city and to get to know everything about the city. So we decide that the second prize is go to the team who thought about everybody and not about the normal people, so because they also thought about the handicapped people. And this is a very important target for us also in the tourism sector. So the second prize is going to arISTA.
Woo! Congratulations. Come back on stage.
To whom I should hand over the prize? To the lady in black.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and we are so happy that we won the second prize because we also think that the disabled people should come to Düsseldorf and that the city of Düsseldorf should be a city for everybody. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. And now it's getting exciting. Dear Carsten, a long journey comes to an end now, over nearly 5 months. And at the end of the road, we have a winner.
Yes, and first of all, I want to thank everybody. You really have fulfilled our expectations, our wishes. I remember very clearly when we were sitting together 4 or 5 months ago, and we had a brainstorming about this activity, about this event. Now in the jury we were discussing a long time. It was really not easy, but in the end I can say that we all agreed about the winner, because the winner combines a lot of our wishes that we had from the beginning, like really high-tech orientated, a lot of functions. All of the 5G functions are included in their solution. Artificial intelligence, AR are included. At the same time, they have are really culture orientated, and I think they even succeeded to include also a lot of fun in this solution. And I think this is also very important for the Office of Tourism here in Düsseldorf. And I'm very clear about that. The winners, they are also, because I'm here representing Huawei, they are also fully representing the spirit that we as a company also always had and what made us successful. And I'm also sure that this team will be successful in the future. So the winner is Skyscaper.
A lot of smiling on stage.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we're really grateful for this prize. We already told that we had a lot of fun participating here. And yeah, we really liked this hackathon, and we are happy that in the end, the technical solution kind of with AR had a chance here.
Yeah, I think it was really fun for me as well, because I could do my vision, I could do some fancy augmented reality stuff, and to get this place for this is really amazing. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Robin, Sebastian, that was an amazing day, I think, for you, and all the best for the future. And we are absolutely looking forward to what we will see from you soon. And it comes to an end now, Jana.
Unfortunately, a long project with a lot of sweat, but also a lot of fun, of course, over the last, I don't know, at least for me, couple of months. Great teamwork and a lot of partner as well.
Yes, partners. As most of you know, DigiHub work is always teamwork. Dear audience here at ISS Dome, thank you so much for your support, and very important, for feeling how beautiful it is to meet people at events in person. We really enjoyed it today, so thank you. Dear jury, thank you very much for your support and your jury work. All in all, you have made, from our perspective, an excellent choice. At the end of the event, we would like to thank all our hackathon project team members, and in particular, Mrs. Helwig from HUAWEI Deutschland, and all her colleagues as well, all participating app developer teams. We only saw winner teams today. The Office for Economic Development of Düsseldorf, Theresa Winkels and her team, Annette Klerk's amazing support over months. The China Competence Center, Düsseldorf Tourism, Nora and Dimitri, Katja Stüben and Fabian for their live contributions, amazing. Our event service partners, D-Live, Mr. Poschmann and Mrs. Alles, BTL Technik and Sigma, once again the chief representative of Huawei Deutschland, Mr. David Wang, the mayor of state capital of Düsseldorf, Mr. Thomas Geisel, Jules Benning, our pitch coach. She coached all the teams. Huge applause for Jules. She couldn't make it today, but she did an amazing job. Of course, we want to thank, and also on behalf of Clemens, who couldn't make it today, but next time he will be here on stage instead of me. We want to thank and embrace the whole DigiHub team who made this happen again. Henriette von Borries, Larissa Fasbeck, Uljana Engel, Nicole Schwarzig, Victoria Ittermann, Lili Yu, Moshtaba Jabari, they did an amazing job. And then I want to send a special thanks to Jana. As heard before, she started her job as Strategy and Operations Manager in May. And despite her long experience in leading roles in different companies, she was a newbie in our field. From the beginning, she took over the project management of this incredible but challenging hackathon project. And she did an amazing job. So cheer out loud, show her and the whole team all your love, and give them the biggest possible applause. Thank you.
Thank you.
And finally, we would like to thank you, dear audience, here on site and in front of the screens. Please stay tuned. Tune in again to the next online events of our Digital Innovation Hub. Thank you all for being with us today. Have a great evening. Please stay healthy and a safe travel back home. Goodbye from the ISS Dome in Düsseldorf.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Sind wir noch nicht.